right thing is we should root for Ole Miss.
Yeah.
What a game.
It was a good game.
You know what? I texted my son after they scored and took the lead. They scored too fast.
Yeah.
And it's hard to do. That's hard to do in college, right? Because you're really in on the emotion, and you're younger, and you're just the coach is not going to say don't
Right.
score.
You need the points. You don't want to be in a situation where you say we didn't take the points because there's 3 minutes and change left,
Yes.
and then never get those points. You got to take them when you can get them.
You got to take it. I just think they could have slowed things down a little bit. Now you slow it down, and maybe you don't score.
Right.
But they left Miami, which I hate Miami.
You and a lot of people have said that to me.
Hate Miami. Well, you know what? It's because of the Big East and football. And you just hated Miami, and I still feel that way. It is what it is. Yeah. So Miami moves on. What a great game it was.
Yeah, it was an excellent game. I do have to say, I guess we'll see a little bit of a game extension this weekend with the playoffs beginning. The college football, that was a 7:30 start last night. What time that game end? 11:45?
It was late.
Yeah, it's like 4 hours and 15 to 20 minutes for a game. No overtime. In college, there's some rule differences. Obviously, 2 feet, 1 foot, right? That's one of the big differences. But every first down,
really spectacular catches. Like it was a great. I'm watching that game, just thinking, which one is going to end up? Which one of these guys is going to? Several are going to end up playing in the NFL, Davey.
And you know something too, guys? Imagine if this game went into overtime, it probably would have not got over until like 12:15, 12:30.
Oh, a bit more 1:30.
Yeah,
and again, that's another difference. Their overtime format is very different.
Yep.
Some would say it's more fair. But one of the other differences is every first down, the clock stops.
Now they do a 2-minute warning stoppage too in college now too.
So the games seem to drag, especially before the half and before the end of the fourth quarter, because there's just constant stoppages of the clock. And that's why a lot of college football games, if you bet, this, the over-unders are like always 58, 60 points. There's so much more opportunity to score. So anyway.
I'll tell you firsthand, and I've seen it. Scott does it a lot when we're watching the games. He goes up and makes a bet in game, even if it's high.
The in game is because you can kind of get a feel for it in game.
Yeah.
But there are limits to that because I've played around with it, and sometimes it'll be available, sometimes it won't be available.
It locks you out
as you get later in the game. But this would be a tough in game bet because it isn't your best bet on an in game. Is the Bills have been really good on in game this year because they'll fall behind by 25 points or something. And right? And then halftime you're like, the line on Bills to win, the money line on the Bills to win is plus 1,800. So you throw a little money on that, and all of a sudden $100, you're making $1,800 when the Bills come back and win. And it happened 3 times this year. By the third time, though, the money line was very interesting because the Bills were starting to come back in the second half, and it became a thing. All of a sudden, the money line went right down to like plus 700. It wasn't plus 1,800 anymore because, Vegas reacts. Anyway, we'll see what this weekend brings. This could be the weekend where we say the Bills aren't in it again. It could also be I kind of like you tell me, I kind of like last year the thought was the Bills are going all the way. This is the Bills' year. It's going to happen. And this year, not so much.
Yeah, I
kind of takes the pressure off.
I've said this before, and I thought it was a good thing for both of the Giants' Super Bowl runs over the Patriots. I would prefer to be under the radar than the team that everybody has a target on.
Yeah, and I do think that they're in a better place. However, a lot of injuries right now.
But Jeff, didn't the Giants start on the road to make it to their Super Bowl win?
They were all road games.
Oh, okay.
They were all road games. And again, they were underdogs in all those games. In Green Bay, I'll never forget how red Tom Coughlin's face was in that game.
It was cold.
In San Francisco, not the game that we blew against Terrell Owens and the 49ers, or the one where we missed the kick. Actually, that was the same game. The one where we actually won in San Francisco. Who was the other one? I'm trying to remember these games. Why can't I there was another.
What year was this?
It was 08.
The Tyree
Oh,
catch.
this is the
Tyree catch.
08 and was it 12 or 13? I always forget the years because it's always confusing because
What
it's
year was
this,
it wide
like
wide
the
right?
season is 20, that was 93, 92? 92.
Yeah.
It's obviously like this year, this is the 25 playoffs, but obviously it doesn't happen until 26. So I always get confused with that. So when you say it was 08, was it January of 08 or was it the 08 season? Anyway.
I just want to say with the Highmark Stadium, and most likely, however, there's a remote chance another game could be played. Most likely it's all over, and the stadium will be dismantled, and next year we'll be playing in the new stadium. So we talked about this earlier. And I don't know, maybe you can grab a little something because the prices aren't that bad, but the prices are out for what it'll cost you to buy stuff
Oh, yeah?
at the for memorabilia, old things from Highmark Stadium. So here's what it'll cost you: a chair, a single stadium seat, plastic seat. They're blue, $550. Pairs stadium seats. So, you know, the seats that they're connected. So there are two of them. Those, you could buy one of those, 2 seats, $650. Double bleacher seats, $550. Seat backs, will set you back $100. So you could buy just the seat back for $100.
That's extremely reasonable.
I think so. And pieces of turf will be sold for $100. And, you know, the key would be to keep the turf alive. And I think it comes alive. So
Well, speaking
your
of
green thumb will come into play there.
turf coming alive, you know, they should do this with the turf at MetLife Stadium. If you have, you know, the family come over for the holidays and you have some in-laws you don't like, you lay down the turf at MetLife Stadium and you hope one of them tears an ACL or something like that.
Yeah. There you go. Anyway, that's kind of cool. So this weekend the Bills play 1:00 on
Sunday, as some would say.
and there'll be football tomorrow and Sunday.
And
What
tonight
else?
as well with Indiana and Oregon. So I
yeah.
have this here in my hands. This is from the Mohawk Valley. No, who is this from? The Oneida Herkimer Solid Waste Authority. This is an update. City of Utica waste collection update is what it's called. City of Utica waste collection update.
Okay.
Do you want the update?
Yeah.
I want to read the whole thing because I want you to pick out where the update is. Okay, as many residents are aware, again, this is the City of Utica waste collection update. As many residents are aware, waste collection throughout the City of Utica has experienced inconsistencies over the past several months and has not met the standards previously expected. There have been delays and challenges in maintaining reliable collection service. Several factors have contributed to these issues, including staffing shortages and a lack of available CDL truck drivers. Challenges currently affecting many organizations and departments. These workforce issues have continued to impact the city's contracted waste hauler, CWSI. Additionally, Utica's pay-as-you-throw system provides a higher level of service than many surrounding communities, which requires increased staffing and resources to operate effectively. Over the past month, severe weather conditions have further exacerbated challenges related to timeliness, and cleanliness, which is true. I get that. The Oneida Herkimer Solid Waste Authority is actively monitoring the situation and remains in regular communication with the contracted hauler. Coordination between CWSI and the city's Department of Public Works has been critical to ensure that streets are cleared and accessible for collection vehicles. Moving forward, residents are encouraged to contact our office with any concerns or services. They leave an email address, a phone number. The authority will provide updates as conditions change and improvements are implemented.
Oh.
What's the update? It's more of an assessment of the situation.
Basically saying, here's what's going on and we're watching it.
Yeah, so it is a wise move. I give them credit. CWSI and the city's DPW coordinate to know, look, if you're going to be in South Utica collecting, we're probably going to have to make sure, at a minimum, make sure South Utica, whatever. You understand what I'm saying there. But this, and I'm not putting it on the authority. They have a contract with a hauler, but this just identifies the problem. It doesn't. There's not a solution here. There's not a. I don't know what the next thing is. That we have to wait for more job applications to come in. Not we, the hauler, CWSI, has to wait for more applications to come in. That's the challenge. We don't have enough CDL truck drivers.
So which is the one they have a problem with?
CWSI
company?
is the hauler.
CWSI.
From Syracuse.
All right, here's what I think we should do. Based on current politics, we should invade CWSI and take over their operations.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Okay.
I mean,
me and you mean?
Well, no, the Solid Waste Authority should.
Well,
like
right,
we took over Venezuela, and we're going to operate it.
I gotcha.
Okay, see where I'm going?
I gotcha.
It is the way. I mean, you've got Venezuela. Who knows? Greenland could be next, and CWSI after that.
So I from this though, with all due respect, I appreciate
This
them.
is the company Rome had a problem with.
Yes.
Yeah. So
essentially, at the end of this, I conclude, if you've experienced delays and other issues with your garbage pickup in Utica, expect more of the same.
Yep, I think that's what it's saying.
Got an update.
There's we won't have Willie Waffle. He had a death in the family, and so Willie will not be on this morning. But I did want to give you one, and we're going to talk to Richard Thomas. Richard Thomas is John Boy. John Boy from the Waltons.
Oh.
And Davey, I got a surprise we're going to explain coming up in a second. And we'll speak with Richard Thomas, who is starring in Mark Twain Tonight, which is not tonight. It's Tuesday night at the Stanley Theater. That show is celebrating its 60th anniversary, and it's playing Utica with the lead, Richard Thomas. So we'll speak with him coming up in a second. And then there's a TV show you can actually watch, the season premiere of My Strange Addiction.
Oh, I don't even want to.
This show, I'm telling you, this show.
You're into this?
A woman, well, it was I was flipping. A woman in Virginia is in the news after she was just featured on the season premiere of My Strange Addiction. Her addiction is, do you want me to make this multiple choice?
Yes.
Her addiction is
Chocolate.
no,
That's way too easy.
No. Yeah,
We don't make TV shows about them. We
it's
make
funny you
diet
say
pills
that.
for them.
You have to guess. Her addiction is A, she loves Russell Stover but only eats the box.
Yeah, come on.
That's a good ad lib, Bill. It's not A. It's not A.
B, she eats McDonald's wrappers, not the food. And I'm not talking about a yo wrapper. I'm talking about the stuff they wrap your food in.
Okay.
That's what she eats. And she said there are many nutrients because of the grease and all of that kind of leave the flavor. And sometimes there's lettuce left over. She eats that and leaves the food behind. Okay, that's B.
Okay.
And C, she doesn't eat her food. She snorts it. 100% of all of her food, she snorts.
I say to snort.
You're going to go with C? What do you go with?
I'll go with B.
You're going with she eats the McDonald's wrappers.
Yeah.
The answer is our winner here, ladies and gentlemen, here this morning. We do have a winner. Baby, you've won. The woman snorts her food. What in the hell?
So is she vegan? How do you get a hot dog up there?
Is she an awful big woman?
Here is. Well, that would be a diet, I would think, because there's an effort but I'm assuming it would cause damage to your nasal cavity.
No doubt about it.
You are not. That's not what your nose is meant to do. Here is audio.
I don't have an aversion to chewing, but I have an aversion to the weird textures that come with food. I do not see snorting my food as a problem. I think it has a lot of benefits, no risk of choking. I don't overeat. I consume less calories. I have had bloody noses about once or twice, and that was more at the beginning. It has really no drawbacks, except nobody accepts my habit. Nobody accepts me for who I am.
Yeah, of course. I mean, there you are at a nice restaurant.
Smitty, imagine you've gone on a blind date with this woman.
I can tell you this: the coke addicts are like, yeah, I see what she's doing there.
I have Well, two things. First of all, Smitty, you're on a blind date with this woman. You order a side of greens, and she starts snorting them.
Oh, yeah.
Goodbye. See ya. I'm
yeah.
out.
You would be, Davey, you think?
Sure
You think?
would.
All right. And he picked it. Davey picked it.
The second thing is I have my nose. It was making me, I don't know what, where you kind of get that feeling in your stomach. You get a little weird. I think I've told this story before.
Like a post-nasal drip can really make you sick to your stomach.
I had gotten as a child a Lego stuck up my nose. And I had to go to the emergency room. And
How'd it get there? You stuck it up there.
Well, I was putting little pieces of Lego. I had one over my eye, each one. I had one in each ear, just on the edge.
Yeah.
I had 3 going across my mouth. Right, my lips pierced like this, and then I had one in each nostril. And my mother was like, "Oh, stop screwing around,"
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, we were counting the pieces to make sure I had them all there, and there was one missing. And it was like, did one go up your nose? And I ended up in the emergency room. And I'm telling you, I was 4 or 5 years old, I think. They stuck a rod up my nose. If you can't see this on YouTube, it must have been, as a child, everything seems bigger, right? I thought it was 10 feet long. They had literally, my mother's
those are
holding.
sharp ends, those Legos.
Yeah.
Not sharp, but angles.
My mother was literally holding my feet down. They had a nurse or something holding my hands down because I was squirming.
Yeah.
So just the thought of snorting food is, it makes me a little nauseous. Ugh.
I don't think you need that experience to be disgusted by what that woman, what she does. And I understand the texture thing because I have people in my family who have texture issues with food. They just don't eat that food.
Right.
But, I mean, wouldn't you, instead of snorting it, wouldn't you resort to, all right, I got to get my food intravenously, and that's the way I have to do it medically.
So weird.
I mean, I think that would be a little easier to swallow, if you will.
So what'd you say? She's in the news for something?
She's on that show. Watch it. It's called My Strange Addiction. My Strange Addiction, and it's on TV right now. I'm going to ask you with an update on the news, and we'll speak with John Boy. Good night, John Boy. Richard Thomas coming up at WIBX.
Good morning. Cloudy skies, 35 degrees. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM news time is 6:43. Bill, at least 2 major American cities are on edge after a pair of high-profile incidents involving federal agents. Protests have not stopped in Minneapolis since Wednesday's deadly shooting of a 37-year-old woman by an ICE agent. The feds have claimed the victim was attempting to harm the agent with her vehicle, while video from the scene appears to many to contradict that version of events. Meanwhile, in Portland, Oregon, Homeland Security says agents were attempting a traffic stop on an alleged Venezuelan gang member yesterday when the driver tried to run over an agent and shots were fired, sending 2 people to the hospital. President Trump says he will meet with Venezuela's opposition leader next week and will accept her Nobel Peace Prize if she makes the offer. Trump gave an interview to Fox News on Thursday and said Maria Corina Machado will be in the U.S. next week sometime, and said, "I look forward to saying hello to her. It will be the first meeting since the U.S. military operation that removed Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro from power and saw him brought to New York to face drug trafficking charges." The monthly jobs report is set to be released this morning. Most analysts expect around 73,000 new jobs to have been added in December, an increase of nearly 10,000 from the prior month. Today's report, or employment situation summary, is expected to be the first that's largely free of data distortions caused by last year's federal government shutdown. A Pennsylvania man facing hundreds of charges related to the theft of bodies from a cemetery. Police say 34-year-old Jonathan Gerlach stole more than 100 full or partial sets of human remains from underground vaults and mausoleums at the Mount Moriah Cemetery. He was arrested at the cemetery earlier this week. And the IRS has announced it will start accepting tax returns this year on January 26th. Federal returns for 2025 will need to be filed by April 15th in order to avoid penalties and interest. Tax season is here, and again, it begins in about 2 weeks and change is the earliest you can start filing your taxes. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM News Time, 6:45. Here's your Weather Center forecast.
Mild southerly flow will continue and a wind advisory will kick in this morning. It'll last until 10 o'clock tonight. Winds could gust maybe 40-plus miles per hour out of the south, keeping us warm and keeping us wet. With a few showers around, especially this afternoon. Mid-40s tonight, a few showers early, dropping down close to freezing. So maybe early tomorrow morning, some patches of ice around, especially in the North Country. And a rain chance to come back later tomorrow afternoon. It's a little bit colder in the upper 30s, and we should end up with at least some snow here on Sunday. Could get a little slick Sunday. I'm meteorologist Ray Stajik at the Weather Channel on WIBX, 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Cloudy skies, 35 degrees at 6:47.
All right, coming up, John Boy, and a little surprise for Davey here. With this, Richard Thomas is in town for the show. Mark Twain tonight, and it comes to the Stanley Theater Tuesday night. He is next on WIBX.
What's your design inspiration? A picture on the wall? A photo from a magazine? A board you've made on Pinterest? Hi, this is Kira Meelan from Meelan's Carpet One. It's amazing what some of our customers bring to us for inspiration, and we love working side by side with them to help turn their flooring dream into a reality. It's actually one of my favorite parts of the job, helping you to discover your perfect flooring. And there really is so much to discover. Consider the latest flooring trends as you plan your next home project. Many of our customers are surprised by the incredible new choices we have available. For example, today's snap-together waterproof luxury vinyl is incredibly popular. It's durable and it's stunning, with so many styles that replicate hardwood and beautiful stone looks. We have options that inspire, designers who will help bring it all together, and always a beautiful installation. To get the perfect flooring, start with the right flooring store. Visit Meelan's Carpet One on Commercial Drive East in Yorkville.
Being prepared for winter weather starts with New Holland. From large snow removal jobs to clearing driveways, New Holland has the equipment to stay one step ahead. Overcome winter's toughest conditions faster, cleaner, and safer with the New Holland lineup of skid steer loaders, compact track loaders, compact wheel loaders, and compact utility tractors. The year-end celebration is going on now. Visit Clinton Tractor today and get equipped for winter.
We are the leader in service, Clinton Tractor.
ClintonTractor.net.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
On the line right now, I'm really excited to speak to someone as a kid that I watched growing up. The one and only, who's coming to Utica, by the way, for the Mark Twain Tonight show at the Stanley Theater, which is the show itself celebrating 60 years. The one and only Richard Thomas on the line right now.
Hey.
Richard, good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
So this is quite a, this is a legendary play to perform.
Well, it's a great show. It was performed for almost 60 years by the one and only Hal Holbrook, who created it and put it together. And it's what he did was he curated a lot of Mark Twain's stories and speeches and things, and he created a sort of evening with Mark Twain, which is based on the kind of thing that Mark Twain used to do. He used to perform. Everybody knows he was a novelist and a nonfiction writer, but not as many people know that he was a wonderful performer and traveled the world and all over the country doing these like 90-minute, basically proto stand-up routines for Americans and abroad. And Hal sort of recreated that kind of evening. So, you know, I no one has ever done this but Hal, and no one ever would do it.
Yeah.
But Hal, except for the fact that while I was on the Mockingbird tour where I visited Utica very happily, they called me. His estate called and said that, you know, Hal said, well, he said, if ever we felt it should be revived, as long as we found somebody that, you know, he would approve of. And he and I knew each other for years and liked each other and all that. And so they asked if I would be interested, and I jumped at it because it's great material, and I think it's a great time to bring Twain out. You know, he's always relevant and fun, and so it's been wonderful so far.
And you are fully endorsed to do this. The only person, by the way, which is amazing.
Yeah, I was very honored that they asked me.
I want to talk about a little bit of history, but I was wondering if we could actually make someone's day. Of course, for everybody knows Richard Thomas, of course, of the Waltons fame, John
Sure,
Boy,
of course.
and something you'll never shed, and I imagine wouldn't want to. It made your career. But our producer Davey, who you just spoke to a second ago, his mom is an enormous fan. Could I bring her in just to say hello?
Oh, sure.
Okay, let's. I won't tell her. Just stand by here.
Okay.
Davey's mom, are you there?
Yes.
Listen, by the way, people don't know this, but Davey's mom is the queen of deviled eggs.
Oh, gee.
I love deviled eggs.
Your deviled eggs are so good, and I wanted to bring someone in to talk to you who has not had your deviled eggs yet, but would love to try them. Mom, this is Richard Thomas, a.k.a. John Boy from the Waltons.
Hey there, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm okay. My mouth is watering about your deviled eggs here. I need them. I need them now. They sound delicious. My mom's deviled eggs were okay, but I have a feeling they don't hold a candle to yours.
Oh no, they're good. They're very good.
Oh, you know the thing about it, I don't even eat egg. I don't even like eggs.
But you make
I'm coming to Utica.
I don't even like eggs. I just make them, and I have to. When David's not here, I have to try this stuff, and I just take just a little bit of the taste.
Just to make sure it's there.
I don't like eggs.
Well,
to make sure that they're fine.
That's very funny.
Listen,
why don't you switch to something you like?
You could do that, but she's always pleasing everyone else, Richard. That's what she.
Of course,
that's what
there
she does.
You go. Well, she's a good mom. It's nice to meet you.
We wanted to bring you in to let you to speak. She watches on what is it?
I watch the Waltons. I have watched the Waltons forever and ever.
Yeah, she loves.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I love doing it. And
all right, Mom. Who knows?
I watch them all the time.
All right. Well, listen. You have a wonderful day, and thanks for speaking with Richard.
Well, thank you very much.
Day.
I appreciate it.
You.
All right. Thank you.
Bye.
Okay. Yeah. Bye.
All right.
Bye.
Well, there you go.
Sweet.
Who knows? You might have in your dressing room on Tuesday. You might have some deviled eggs.
Well, spring's eternal.
So, by the way, Mark Twain tonight is at the Stanley Theater on Tuesday, 7 p.m. show.
That's right.
And what about, you see these fans like Dave's mom that just grew up on the Waltons, and that was a different time that you are so lucky to have been involved in that there were 3 channels. That was it.
It was a whole other world. There were the syndicated stations, the local stations, and all that. But there were 3 network channels, and so it was a 3-way battle every night of the week, and there was a lot of points to go around, which was also good. But we had huge audiences. All of these shows in those days had huge audiences. So it's very different from what it is now.
Yeah, so
You're right.
Because when an episode happens, there's a very good chance that 60% or 70% of America had seen the episode the night before. I mean, that's just people don't get that.
Right.
You don't get that today in Hollywood TV.
Yeah, it's very, very different.
Oh, let me ask you. I would love To Kill a Mockingbird. What an amazing play! You played Atticus Finch. And that had to be an amazing, because that's such an iconic role.
Well, it was a great experience. Aaron Sorkin did a beautiful job of adapting it, and we took it around the country for a year and a half, almost 2 years, and it was wildly successful because people love that material. And like Twain, it's American, and it belongs to us, and it's evergreen. It's a story that is always worth telling. It was a wonderful experience.
And this amazing as well. And as you said, people didn't realize how that Mark Twain had this element of showmanship, but humor as well. I mean, this is what made it so compelling, I think.
Well, he's like the first really great American humorist, and at the time he was one of the most famous one of the most famous Americans in the world. He was known all over. And of course, there's a lot of satire and a lot of commentary on politics and religion and stuff. But it's always funny and it's always exciting. And, he's just a wonderful American figure, very rich. And I think it's a great opportunity for people to get to know him again a little better.
Yeah.
Because he's got a lot to say, and it's very entertaining stuff.
I want to ask you when you come to towns like Utica and cities across America, we are such a divided country right now. Yet people, when you put them in a theater, people tend to be people, just people.
That's exactly right. It's community, and it's wonderful to go around the country with a play. I mean, I do shows in New York all the time. I'm going to do a Broadway show when I'm done with this. But I love to tour because I love going to play for people when they're not tourists in New York, when they're actually on their own home ground. And every part of the country is different, and every type of audience, every region has a very different flavor. And you're right, when everybody gets in the theater together, there's just one community of humans. And if you can make them laugh, and you can make them think, and you can make them cheer up, you brought everybody together in a beautiful way. And it's a privilege to be able to do that. And this is one of the great. A friend of mine used to refer to theater as an empathy machine.
Yeah.
And if you can get everybody together feeling kind of the same feelings about stuff, I think it's very healing.
Yeah. And I wonder, when you come to a theater like the Stanley, which is just beautiful, but large compared to when you do Broadway. I mean, everybody's packed right in New York. So
right.
Are the two? I'm assuming that you like both of them in different ways.
Yeah, I mean, it's all theater. I mean, I like playing, certainly with a show like this. It's interesting. It's more, maybe better to play for 1,000 people than 2,500 people, because it's very, it's just one man on stage talking right to the audience. But I'll take as many as I can get.
Yeah, that's right. I'm assuming once the lights come on, you just see the people in the front anyway, so it doesn't.
Yes, I love it. Well, that's the beautiful thing about we're always aware of the audience, no matter what we're doing. But if you're doing a one-man show and you're talking right to the audience, it's just great to be able to make that contact, and I'm able to do that with this show. It makes me happy.
Before we let you go, your favorite part of the Mark Twain Tonight, your favorite part of the show?
Well, it changes from night to night. It's sort of, it's wherever the fish happen to be biting, I mean, there's the wonderful tall tale that he tells, sort of that an old silver miner told him. And when that's going over well, I think that's great. One of the best things, the most satisfying things, is a whole section from Huckleberry Finn, which is beautiful to read, and I think very, very meaningful for the audience. So that's probably my highlight.
Yeah. Well, listen, Richard Thomas, an honor and pleasure to be able to talk with you this morning.
Well, thank you. Likewise. I appreciate it. I can't wait to get to Utica. I love that theater.
Deviled eggs for everybody, and it's Tuesday night, 7 p.m. at the Stanley Theater. Mark Twain Tonight. You can get tickets through Ticketmaster or going to the box office. Thank you so much. We'll see you here Tuesday night.
Thank you. It's a real pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much. Thanks.
One of America's funniest comedians is coming back to Utica. Jimmy Fallon, comedian and host of Fox Across America on WIBX, a TD host of Fox News, Saturday night, bringing an all-new hilarious show to the Rome Capitol Theater, Saturday, February 7th at 7 p.m. Tickets start at $38 and can be purchased at RomeCapital.com. A portion of the proceeds benefit Real Men Get Tested for Cancer. Purchase tickets at the box office or at RomeCapital.com. Jimmy Fallon. One night, one show. Get your tickets now.
Let me just say the tickets are flying, so go to RomeCapital.com for details. Lots to do here. Katie Aiello coming up.
From the WB Insurance Studios, your news talk leader since 1925. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now the latest from Fox News.
Another shooting in another city leads to another outcry. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That protest is in Portland, Oregon, after two people were shot by Border Patrol, prompting Mayor Keith Wilson, a Democrat, to call for an end to immigration enforcement in his city.
Portland is not a training ground for militarized agents.
Now Fox's Chandler Painter on what Homeland Security is saying.
Agents identified themselves to the vehicle occupants. The driver weaponized his vehicle and attempted to run over the law enforcement agents. Fearing for his life and safety, an agent fired a defensive shot. The driver drove off with the passenger fleeing the scene. Those two suspects, both illegal migrants believed to be affiliated with the criminal Venezuelan gang Tren de Aragua, called 911 themselves for help.
Those two are now hospitalized, and the shooting is similar to the one also being protested in Minneapolis Wednesday that left a woman dead in her SUV.
Although the feds say the agents shot this woman in self-defense, the protesters that we've been talking to say that these people and these agents are killers, and they don't want them in their city. They're taking their neighbors, etc. So it's been very contentious here on the ground. We saw at least a dozen people arrested.
Fox's Alexis McAdams in Minneapolis. President Trump will meet with oil executives today on rebuilding Venezuela's oil industry. After posting early this morning on Truth Social, he's canceled a planned second wave of attack for Venezuela, writing U.S. is working well with the country now following the weekend operation capturing leader Nicolas Maduro. Though the president tells Fox's Hannity other countries could get targeted.
We've knocked out 97% of the drugs coming in by water, and we are going to start now hitting land.
The president's also threatening to veto this.
On this vote, the yeas are 230, the nays are 196.
The bill the House approved would provide 3 years of Obamacare subsidies, which expired last year for millions of Americans. 17 Republicans joined Democrats voting yes, but the Senate may not pass it. America's listening to Fox News.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting for someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now, there's a place where you can meet them fast. ZipRecruiter.
Need to hire right away. Start your search for strong candidates. The right fit awaits. Build your team. Build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. And you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
We are on Supreme Court watch this morning. There's a chance we could get a ruling today.
Among the most anticipated opinions, the ruling over President Trump's use of tariffs. When justices heard arguments in early November, there was clear skepticism over how the president was using emergency powers to impose wide-ranging import taxes. President Trump has called the case one of the most important ever for the court, arguing tariffs are responsible for a surge of foreign investment, U.S. manufacturing, and even ending wars. The court also has yet to rule on a challenge to President Trump's ability to fire independent agency heads and a voting rights challenge to Louisiana's proposed congressional district map. At the White House, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
We will get a key update to the economy next hour. Last month's jobs report expected to show a slight uptick in hiring from November.
So here are the estimates, 73,000. The unemployment rate ticking slightly lower, 4.5%.
That's Fox Business Network Cheryl Cassoni. The report could move the markets. For now, stock futures barely moving on Wall Street. It's down to 3 teams now in the college football playoffs.
Miami will play for a national title, beating Ole Miss 31-27 at the Fiesta Bowl, with Hurricanes quarterback Carson Beck rushing for the go-ahead touchdown with less than 20 seconds remaining. After Ole Miss grabbed the lead late in the fourth quarter, Beck led Miami on a 15-play, 75-yard drive for the win. The Hurricanes will now play for their first national title since 2001, and will do so at Hard Rock Stadium in South Florida. Miami will face the winner of Friday night's matchup between Oregon and undefeated Indiana. Joe Morgan, Fox News.
In the NBA, they postponed a game in Chicago last night. The Bulls and Heat couldn't play because the court was wet. Condensation they couldn't dry despite using mops and towels created by warm conditions and the ice underneath that they use for hockey. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Mostly cloudy skies, 35 degrees. Good morning. I'm Jeff Manaski, WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM news time is 7:05. This news update is brought to you by Clinton Tractor, the leader in service. Visit clintontractor.net. Utica police believe they have solved a more than 2 decades-old murder investigation. However, the person they believe to be responsible has since passed away and will not formally face charges. Catherine Scott was 39 years old in 2002 when her body was found wrapped in plastic under a mattress inside of a home at 16 Barnes Avenue. It was determined that she died of manual strangulation. Investigators worked to solve the case but were not able to file charges in connection with her death. In 2024, the main suspect, identified as Jarvis Simpson, passed away while he was serving time in a federal detention facility. Authorities believe this could change the case if they started to re-interview individuals close to the investigation. UPD officials say based on the extensive investigation coupled with the new and valuable information, the Oneida County DA's office has declared the investigation solved, and they say Jarvis Simpson was the individual responsible for the death of Catherine Scott Liggins. UPD officials say they hope the information can bring some peace to Catherine's family as they have waited more than 2 decades for answers. Again, no formal charges, though, officially filed in that case. Rome police investigating a burglary at Copper City Smoke Shop and Beverage at on South James Street. Officers say the victim reported an unknown man smashed the glass front door to gain entry into his business and then took a quantity of lottery tickets before leaving the scene. The investigation is ongoing. Rome police asking for help identifying a suspect. They say you can come forward by calling Rome PD or call Mohawk Valley Crime Stoppers at 1-866-730-8477. The Boilermaker Charity Bib Program announcing 10 local nonprofits who will benefit from the 2026 race. President Mark Donovan said runners who raise at least $500 for one of the 10 partner charities will receive a free bib for the 15K or the 5K race. The program has raised more than $800,000 for local nonprofits since 2013. This year's partners include the National MS Society, the Parkinson's Foundation, the Neighborhood Center, Young Scholars, Abraham House, Grateful for Graham, Mohawk Valley Latino Association, and Humane CNY, among others. And a Syracuse mother accused of murdering her 5-year-old daughter will be going on trial. Prosecutors say Latasha Mott is rejecting a plea deal for her alleged role in the death of Neffy Harris, her 5-year-old daughter. Mott is accused of beating the girl to death in a shower back in 2024 before burying her remains in a shallow grave behind an apartment complex on Salt Springs Road in Syracuse. Mott's trial is expected to begin January 20th. She faces 25 years to life if she is convicted. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM news time is 7:08. Here's a look at a warm Weather Center forecast.
Mild southerly flow will continue and a wind advisory will kick in this morning. It'll last until 10 o'clock tonight. Winds could gust maybe 40-plus miles per hour out of the south, keeping us warm and keeping us wet. With a few showers around, especially this afternoon. Mid-40s tonight, a few showers early, dropping down close to freezing. So maybe early tomorrow morning, some patches of ice around, especially in the North Country. And a rain chance to come back later tomorrow afternoon. It's a little bit colder in the upper 30s, and we should end up with at least some snow here on Sunday. Could get a little slick Sunday. I'm meteorologist Ray Stajik at the Weather Channel on WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Cloudy skies, 35 degrees. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM news time, 7:09.
The Canes within 3 yards of a game-winning touchdown, which would send them home to the championship game. 3 receivers bunt to the left. Becca's looking that way. And still looking. Takes off running. Carson Beck with his legs puts Miami on top.
He did put him on top. That was your final score of the game, and the final score was 31-27. Miami rallies past Ole Miss in the final minute as they capture the Fiesta Bowl and head to the national championship game, which will be a home game. Well, not a home game, but they will be on their home turf anyway.
Yeah, they're
It'll
playing
certainly
at
feel
home.
like a home game.
That's nuts.
That is nuts. Mark Fletcher Jr. ran for 133, while Keelan Marion caught 7 passes for 114 yards and a touchdown. Ole Miss ends the season at 13-2. Now, 2 teams play tonight for the other spot in the national championship. It's top-ranked Indiana battling 5th-seeded Oregon in the semifinal round at the Peach Bowl from Atlanta coming up tonight.
Yeah, I find it very interesting that Miami almost didn't get in. There was a thought that they weren't going to get in. Remember, that was a controversial move.
Yeah.
And look where they are.
Yeah, they head to the championship game. The NFL playoffs kick off this weekend as well. 2 games on Saturday. That's Carolina hosting the LA Rams. And then Saturday night, one of the oldest rivalries in the NFL, the Bears play host to the Green Bay Packers. That should be a good one. 3 more games on Sunday. Of course, they include the Jags hosting our Buffalo Bills. Can I say our Buffalo Bills?
Please do. Please do.
Smitty, look at Smitty in there. He's saying
Please
no.
do. Yeah.
I was speaking for the group, Smitty. I was speaking for the group.
Why can't he be a Bills fan right now?
Because he's not he's a bandwagoner.
No, he's a home team guy. He's rooting for the home team.
Well, the Jacksonville Jaguars, 1 o'clock Sunday, play host to their Buffalo Bills.
No,
the
our
Eagles.
Buffalo Bills.
The Eagles host the 49ers.
He's allowing you in.
Midday on Sunday, and then the Sunday night game, the New England Patriots hosting the LA Chargers. Wild Card weekend wraps up again with a Monday night game. It's the Steelers hosting the Texans on Monday night. Mike McDaniel fired in Miami after 4 seasons. All those games are on WIBX, all of the 6 playoff games, NFL playoff games. Mike McDaniel out in Miami after a 35 and 33, or do I have that backwards? Either way, it wasn't good enough. He's fired after going 35 and 33 after 4 seasons in Miami. The Giants still looking for a new head coach, of course. According to The Athletic, former Ravens coach John Harbaugh, quote, really likes the Giants. And the interest is mutual. New York is pushing to get Harbaugh in the building early next week. The G-men have already met with former Browns coach Kevin Stefanski twice. Maybe he'll be the offensive coordinator and Harbaugh can be the head coach. But we'll waiting with bated breath to see what happens there. The Utica Comets look to extend their 2026 point streak. They look to get at least 1 tonight. Certainly they'll take 2, but they host the Syracuse Crunch. It's a 7 o'clock start at the Adirondack Bank Center. And don't forget, if you're going to the game, bring some fresh, new, clean socks. It is the sock toss game tonight. And Syracuse basketball plays tomorrow, 2 o'clock ACC Network, as they battle Pittsburgh. Looking to go 11-5. They're 10-5 right now, I think, right?
Yeah, and if they win, they'll be 2-1 in the ACC. Speaking of the Giants,
okay.
I just saw a meme earlier this morning. The new regime of the New York Giants: Antonio Pierce, defensive coordinator; Mike McDaniel, offensive coordinator; and John Harbaugh.
I don't want Mike McDaniel. I don't.
I'm surprised. I didn't realize he'd only been in Miami for 4 years.
Yeah.
It seems like he's been there for longer than that. But when you go back 4 years, we're just getting out of COVID. We're still in the middle of it.
Yeah.
Anyway, a couple things. Donna this morning.
Which, by the way, really quickly, he looks an awful lot like Benjamin Keeler, I think. Mike McDaniel. You got your son some glasses?
Yeah.
Your son wear glasses?
He does. He'll have to grow some hair these days, but yeah. Let's see. Oh, talking about the woman. This was it's on that new TV show, or the season is back of Strange Addictions, or what is? I'll get you the name of the show coming up. Anyway, the woman who she has a texture problem, so she can't eat the food, so she snorts it. Her food, she snorts it. That is gross, Donna says. 2 things. When my kids were toddlers, my daughter stuck cotton all the way up her nose. I had to hold her down, screaming as the doctor stuck tweezers up her nose to get it out. My son, as a toddler, stuck a crayon up, and the tip broke off, getting stuck. What kids don't do, or even worse, what they do. And then Lance and Lee has been a big complainer of the shots on YouTube, and our problem has been we have no access to be able to get in because everything is locked up. Well, one morning we came in and everything was unlocked, Davey. So I've actually brought a few things from home, and we have some new shots on YouTube, which I think will make it look much better. And you can check it out. Just search Keeler live stream.
Clean-shaven face, if you have the stomach for it.
And the other thing that I do have to tell you is that people sometimes get confused thinking you have to have YouTube TV.
No.
Subscribe to YouTube TV and pay a monthly fee. No, we're on YouTube. It's absolutely free, just like any other video you'd watch on YouTube. Just search for Keeler live stream, and we come right up. All right, lots to get to. Yeah.
The show is called My Strange Addiction.
My Strange Addiction.
And I
Sorry.
see other things here like eats toilet paper.
Yeah.
The ventriloquist
I
lady.
saw one on a couple of years ago on maybe an inaugural season where the person was eating the stuffing from the couch. Like there was a hole in the arm of the couch, and the person was eating the stuffing from the couch.
Aren't those things are like sprayed with chemicals that can
no
cause
doubt
cancer?
About it. No doubt about it. But RFK Jr. says it's okay. You're going to be fine, and actually will keep your weight. I don't think he does.
Yeah, just don't take Tylenol.
Yeah. Supreme Court's first opinion day of 2026, and there's some big cases out there. Before we break, I want to bring in Jessica Rosenthal from Fox News Radio with an update. Jessica, good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
We were just talking about the show My Strange Addiction, and the premiere episode that just aired, the woman cannot eat food because she has a texture problem. So instead, to get her nutrients, she snorts her food.
Oh, Lord.
Sorry to start your day off with that. But
well, look, and Jessica, I don't know if you know this, but Bill was also talking about the woman who would eat stuffing from the couch cushion.
Yes.
And I'm telling you, if you've never had a leather lazy boy,
that
is the best flavor.
Yeah,
I mean, you just dig right in.
Are you having your Barca Lounge your rare, or is that well done? Yeah. Okay. Big day, and these are some big cases coming out for the Supreme Court here.
Yeah, indeed. We're looking at, of course, the big one that you've heard the president reference quite a few times is the one regarding tariffs. This case is one in which we're asking whether or not the president can use the International Emergency Economic Powers Act to enact tariffs. This was a tough one for the Trump administration because even some of the conservative justices wondered, is this essentially a tax?
Yeah.
Because the powers of taxation belong to Congress. You can imagine the implications here. The president says he needs them. These are a national security issue. He literally stops wars with the threat of tariffs. So administration officials say they're looking at a workaround in case the court doesn't side with them. But the president's acknowledged whatever the workaround is, it won't give him the ability to act as quickly as he has been able to with the threat of these particular tariffs. We're also, of course, watching the two other big ones that are on my radar, I'll tell you, are Trump versus Slaughter. This is the one where the president tried to fire the FTC commissioner, Lisa Slaughter, and she sued. She said, you can only remove an FTC commissioner for inefficiency, neglect of duty, or malfeasance. That's those are the rules. The Solicitor General for the Trump administration said the precedent case here is a husk of itself because independent agency power, like that of the FTC, has grown so much. A lot of the conservative justices seem to agree with that potentially, worrying about these independent agencies and their sort of unchecked power. The more liberal justices worried about the power of the executive branch, as you might imagine. And then the other case is Louisiana versus Calais. If the court sides with the plaintiffs here, you will see a bunch of southern states start to redistrict. I don't know if it'll be in time for midterms this year, but this is the one where some black voters had challenged Louisiana's map for having only one black district. Some lower court rulings came down, and the state said, okay, we'll redraw. We'll have two black districts. Then another group of voters came and sued and said, wait, you can't remedy a violation of the Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act with a racial gerrymander. So we're watching Chief Justice Roberts and Justice Kavanaugh because they joined with the liberal justices and upheld a map of Alabama's in 2021. So we'll be watching all these cases.
A lot there.
There are others.
And
they're coming down, but we haven't even heard arguments on them yet, like birthright citizenship.
I will say the issue on the redistricting, really Republicans have to be very careful here because you're now opening the door. Not just the court. Let's not forget the court is not ruling Republicans districts can redistrict or Republican states. It's allowing for redistricting, and all of a sudden we're going to find ourselves where, the blue states are going hog wild and the red states are going hog wild, and it's going to be crazy. So I wonder where that's going to be a very interesting case to see where we land, right? Okay.
I think so.
All right.
I can't believe they refer to them as you have a black district. I mean, that's insane.
A black majority district.
Yeah,
so
a black majority district, but that's how they're figuring out. They're not saying this district.
Well, that's really what a lot of the case is about, right?
Okay.
It is about that.
Yeah. Interesting stuff. Okay, Jessica, as always, we appreciate your time and have a wonderful day.
You too.
All right, thanks, Jessica Rosenthal. Or as she says, Jessica Rosenthal.
Fox News.
Fox News. The pause there. Lots to do here. Lieutenant Mike Curley coming up, UPD. How about a case that goes back 24 years? And one of the retired Utica UPD, so many people have worked incredibly hard on this, including the DA's office. But these people all didn't give up. And for the strangulation murder of Catherine Scott Liggins, or Catherine Liggins Scott, has now been solved. We'll speak with Lieutenant Mike Curley coming up in a second. Well, Mike's free money question of the day this morning. Davy is worth a whopping
$275.
$275. So we'll get to that. And Katie Aiello is in. There's a lot going on. There's a lawsuit.
She's suing every elected official in the city of Utica, Democrat or Republican.
She kind of teased this when she was on our Christmas show, and we'll get into it all coming up in a second. So big hour. Stand by at WIBX.
Oh, hello. It's me, the calculator that lives inside of TaxSlayer. And let me tell you, I love numbers. 1040s, 1099s, W-2s, all of them. With TaxSlayer, anyone can file a federal return for just $22.99. You'll get 100% accuracy and your biggest possible refund guaranteed. Now those are great numbers. Need help along the way? We've got U.S.-based real human support. File by February 8th for just $22.99 and get the refund you deserve. TaxSlayer. File fearlessly.
It all began in 1985 with a single goal, a commitment to brighten our community. And with your kindness, that light grew brighter. Because for 40 years, you've helped Food Bank of Central New York deliver healthy food and hope. But that need continues to grow. So this year, please consider giving a little extra and make sure the light we shine together never goes out.
Hurt in a car? Call William Attar. 315-444-4444.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-923-6829 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-923-6829. That's 800-923-6829. What do you have to lose? Call 800-923-6829. Again, 800-923-6829.
Oh, hello. It's me, the calculator that lives inside of TaxSlayer. And let me tell you, I love numbers. 1040s, 1099s, W-2s, all of them. With TaxSlayer, anyone can file a federal return for just $22.99. You'll get 100% accuracy and your biggest possible refund guaranteed. Now those are great numbers. Need help along the way? We've got U.S.-based real human support. File by February 8th for just $22.99 and get the refund you deserve. TaxSlayer. File fearlessly.
The 2026 Seize the Deal golf cart is back, and it's about to make you the coolest gift giver this holiday season. For only $75, you get 15 rounds of golf at some of the area's top courses. 15 rounds, $75. Play favorite courses like Twin Ponds Golf and Country Club, Shamrock Golf and Country Club, and Sleepy Hollow Golf and Country Club. Plus plenty more. But heads up, when they're gone, they're gone. So get your 2026 Seize the Deal golf cart now at seizethedeal.com or log into this station's website.
Celebrating 100 years. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
I want to tell you about the Falcon Clinic in Washington Mills. Man, it is the area's premier osteopathic medical clinic. Accepting new patients right now. They've added Dr. Cheryl Mattern of Sequoia. She's come home to practice at the Falcon Clinic, along with Dr. Kosminski, Dr. Zielinski, Dr. Shemileski, and others, all under one roof at the Falcon Clinic. It's the Falcon Clinic. Try their OMT. You can call and ask about it. Osteopathic manipulation treatment. I feel like it's a tune-up for me. Every month, I do it every month. Although this month, Tim Reed was in and I think is in need of it. So I might give up my appointment and let him take my appointment. I don't know that you can do that. I'm still trying to talk to somebody over there, but I'm sure they'll allow us to do it. Pretty sure.
Is this our new look on YouTube there?
Yeah, is that all right?
I like it. It looks good. It's better lit. Does it show my bald spot still?
Luckily, keep that hat on. Oh,
keep
now
it
it
on?
does.
Yeah, I'll keep it
now it does. Oh, boy.
We'll find out after the show.
It didn't. Okay, I have to say this is really an amazing example of how hard police and the district attorney's office and investigators work to get to the bottom of a case. 24 years ago, a woman, Catherine Liggins Scott, was killed. She was found inside her apartment under a mattress wrapped in cellophane, and it took really all this time, and no one really knew who the murderer was. And now they have cracked the case 24 years later. And Lieutenant Mike Curley is on the line right now. Mike, good morning. This is a big deal.
Yeah, it's a big deal, and it's really nice that it just kind of coincides with the exact date it happened. 24 years almost to the day of when it happened, and all the credit in the world goes to the initial investigators, and certainly Investigator Nicholson, who's now with the district attorney's office, for just never letting this one go.
Go ahead.
I was going to say some of the participants involved here have retired since the case first happened. Were they also involved in this follow-up investigation?
In regards through the years, but not to the degree that she has.
I see.
But they did just really good police work early on to allow this case to continue and progress as it have. So, they deserve the credit as well for not letting it go early on, doing what they needed to do without the technology, without the things that we have today, just good old-fashioned police work that brought this case to resolution.
And also, sadly, there are family members. I believe her dad has passed away, and so there are people that aren't going to be around to see this happen. However, family members are still here. In fact, I think I saw, I'm assuming it was a daughter on Facebook going back to January of I guess it was this year, January of last year, talking about it. So these things never go away, and to be able to get some closure is a big deal.
Yeah, it's a big deal, and like any case, I mean, this one we're talking about specifically, but in case it may be cold, but it's never gone, and we always revisit things, see if new evidence has popped up. Cases like this where it's pretty well known early on who the suspect was, you really have an onus to solve that case. You just got to find the cooperation and get there, and when some people die, the loyalty and the fear go away, and if that's what it takes to get some closure, unfortunately there'll be no justice for the perpetrator, but maybe for the family and get some closure and knowledge that what we believed happened was the true facts.
It says coupled with new and valuable information. What was it? Somebody who said he told me, I was with him, I saw it. Can you elaborate on what that new information was?
Yeah, I'll try to do my best because it really does hinge on some active criminal cases as well, with cooperation and things like that. So there was corroborating information based on the interviews that were conducted, fitting evidence that was not released previously. I guess that makes sense. Stuff we knew that wasn't out in the public that corroborated based on the statements that led us to believe that it's nothing but a true story.
Yeah, the only way to have known is if you knew. Yeah, gotcha.
And again, the
cryptic enough for you, I guess.
No, I get it.
And again, the person who is believed to have committed the crime has passed away in jail.
Yeah, that's right. And again, sad that individual will not be held accountable, but his last days were spent in a federal institution for unrelated crimes. So.
Yep. All right. Okay. And by the way, how has the year started off? As busy as 2025 ended, or what's your assessment here going in?
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, obviously our patrol guys are just busy running call to call every day, so give them all the credit in the world for keeping the city safe and doing the day-to-day work. The Criminal Investigation Division has not had, knock on wood, a major case yet to date, but I mean, we're early in the year, and we're hoping that does not come to fruition, but we'll see how it goes. If it does, we'll be ready and do our very best to keep everybody safe in the city.
And then just one more, because I know this happened earlier this week. I think UPD partnered with several local agencies and the U.S. Marshals. I believe you made an arrest in connection with a homicide that occurred at the end of last year, and I may have been another case involving a shooting where you guys came in and had some targeted raids. Could you talk about that?
Yeah, certainly. So an individual named Charles Bryant was arrested related to a homicide that occurred of Kiamani Davis in November of 2024. He was indicted in early 2025, so we had good information with respect to, again, a suspect in the case. He just has been awful elusive since then, traveling to different states, using different aliases and things of that nature. So we were finally able to get some information that led us to an address here in Utica. And for the Marshal Service credit and all the partnerships they have with local and state agencies, that they were on it immediately and took him into custody.
Yeah.
And then another individual who, 17-year-old juvenile, talk about juvenile crimes, Bill, and things being busy, just unfortunately fired rounds into a house on Robert Street, and an individual inside was struck. That was a result of that case and that arrest.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, it happens.
Listen, I hate to say that it was okay, because it wasn't okay back then, but, when we were kids, people were throwing rocks at windows. Now we're dealing
fists.
now we're dealing with gunfire. Crazy. All right.
And young, unfortunately.
And young. It's just unbelievable. Scary. Lieutenant Mike Curley, as always, thanks for your service, and we'll talk again soon.
Have a great day, guys.
You do the same. Thanks. Right? I mean, young.
Yeah.
Just unbelievable. Chris wants to comment on the 24-year-old cold case just solved. Chris, good morning. You're on the radio.
Hey, Bill. Thanks for taking my call.
Chris John.
Very simple. I'm sorry?
Go ahead.
I'm just curious, Bill. Why is it that you think a 24-year-old case is just fine and fresh and you're praising everyone, which is, I agree, good. If something bad happened, great. But my case is 15 years old, and you think that it's not worth looking into, it's too old. Same thing with Judge Daniel R. King. Your argument is my case is just too old. So what's the difference here?
So you're putting words in my mouth. I never have said that you're. I did say this, and I know you hate to hear this, but I did say you. So many years have just passed. Why not just let it go and move on and have a
crime was committed against me.
I understand that.
Your
I understand.
law enforcement committed crimes against me, Bill.
But you're asking me why. I'm giving you the answer. I'm just giving you my answer because I think it would be.
I'm giving you my answer. So why is it crimes committed against me are not being investigated, but everything else can be?
But I don't know that crimes aren't being investigated. That this, if you have
No, they're not. They're ignoring me. Judge King denied my motion.
Oh, okay.
Even though I have more than enough evidence, Bill. So tell me what's going on. And don't tell me I put words in your mouth, Bill, because I don't want to embarrass you by playing back what you've said, okay?
Okay.
I never put words in your mouth, Bill. I don't do that to people.
Well,
Your law enforcement does that to people. They cheat people. I don't.
All right. Well,
that's all right. What's your answer?
I'm going to agree to disagree. I think that would be the best way to.
What are you disagreeing with?
I don't even know now.
What are you disagreeing with?
My mind has been twisted to the point where I don't even know what I'm agreeing with, let alone disagreeing.
No, you said you disagree. What do you disagree with?
I'm not passing judgment on your situation. However, you made a plea, and I don't understand the law enough to understand if 15 years ago someone pleaded guilty and then they want to reopen their case 15 years later, if based on the evidence that is out there, how a court reacts to that. I don't know. I'm not an attorney, so I don't know.
You have me on your show and I can explain it.
You're on right now.
On there, opening his lying mouth all the time. How come I can't have my say?
And the other part is that you have a pending case in Herkimer County that
So what? It has nothing to do with it.
Oh, okay. All right.
Well, no, actually, it does have something to do with it. It has a lot to do with it.
All right.
But no one will let me explain.
I hope you don't have anybody upstairs or downstairs in your house. You're going to be waking them up. Let's calm down.
I don't care.
Yeah. Okay.
This is more important than people wake. Yeah, you need to wake up.
Yes.
You people all need to wake up. You're going to. So I hope that you cover the Carpenter case in Herkimer after you slandered me and called me a burglar. I hope you cover the outcome when I slaughter Carpenter in court. Are you going to cover that for me?
Well, listen, I give you my word. We will cover that. But I want to remind you, we never slandered you, ever. We reported on a case where you were arrested, and according to police, there were charges levied against you. That's not slander. That's reporting an official arrest in the village of Mohawk. We're not slandering you.
Okay, so that's one side of a story.
That's not one
Would you
side.
like
No. I'm very well versed on this. That's not one side of a story. I just gave you facts, not an opinion. Those are facts.
Okay, so the fact is what they say, that's it. There's no other say involved.
No. In America, you'll have your day in court, and we will report on that. What comes out of your day in court, we'll report on it.
You still have not answered my question, Bill. Why is a 24-year-old case okay, but a 15-year-old case not okay?
What are you saying? Hold on.
But he's
the case wasn't reopened.
assuming no one is looking into anything. I can't assume that. I have no idea. There's no way for us to know.
That was an unsolved case, and it was still an open case. I believe the case you're referring to.
No one pleaded
resolved
guilty in that case.
Yeah, you resolved that
I
case.
have reopened my case. That is what a 440 motion
I understand
is.
that.
It is a legal document, and it's public record. Judge King denied it, claiming there's no evidence. But what he's failing to remind everyone about is I have digital forensic evidence and a very reliable expert witness that your state will not allow me to put on the stand. What do you think about that?
Again, I don't know the facts. I can't comment on that.
Well, would you like me to tell you the facts? Why do you always
No,
have Steve
you're
Huff
giving
on the
me
show but not me?
you're giving me opinion, not facts. I can't deal with that.
No, it's not opinion. I have facts. Immutable, unchangeable facts.
But I don't know that's. Let's just talk about this for a second. If you give me a piece of audio, I don't know how authentic that is. I have no way of telling. 15 years have passed. I have no way of determining whether that evidence has been tampered with, and I'm going to tell you something else. Nor can someone come in and be a forensic and audio forensic specialist, come in and say, yep, this has been tampered with, because it's so old, and you would need the original to be able to determine whether or not there was anything done with it. I just don't know how, based on my experience in audio, which I have a few years, I don't know how they would be able to unequivocally determine that. Which makes the evidence somewhat.
You are so off.
All right. Well, maybe I am. But
it's embarrassing.
I don't.
You're embarrassing yourself, Bill.
Now you're quoting my wife.
Yourself, sir.
All right. I'm going to let you go because we're going nowhere.
No, Chris.
Cowards won't let me in the courtroom. Will you?
Okay, Chris,
we have
hold
nothing
on.
to do with the courtroom.
I laughed at Bill's comment that your wife agrees with you that he's embarrassing himself. That was a little joke he threw in there. We have nothing to do with what you're allowed to present in court. We have nothing to do with what you're allowed to present in court.
You are the media. Give me my fair say.
You're getting it right now, and I'm
No,
telling
I'm not.
you.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
I'm angry now because you hardheads will not allow me to explain what your criminal law enforcement has done.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. What?
Well,
when am I coming on the show?
Well, you're on now, and I'm not going further with this because I cannot
present my case.
I want to see what happens in Herkimer County, so we'll follow that for you.
You're going to watch me slaughter Carpenter, and then can I come on?
Well, I don't think this is good for your case right now in Herkimer County.
I don't care what you think about that.
I know that.
I'm going to present the facts.
Okay.
You talk about facts, but you don't know the facts, Bill.
I'm telling you, I don't know the facts. I
am. Let me explain them to you.
But I can't authenticate your facts.
I can.
Yeah, but I don't. But I don't have the knowledge to be able to say, "Yep, he's right." I don't.
Recording.
Okay.
Never have, never will.
We're gonna.
Answer that.
I didn't hear that, but we're gonna move on at this point.
Okay, well, let me repeat it. Your law enforcement has never authenticated their evidence. Never can, never will.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't want to keep going.
All right.
What now?
Well.
What now?
Well, you pleaded guilty.
Oh, yeah? Well, let me explain. Are you telling me I'm the only person in history that's pled guilty and then been exonerated afterwards?
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that is complicated things for you.
Let me explain the guilty plea.
Okay.
Stop saying I pled guilty. Let me explain it.
I think we're going in a wrong direction here. Let's take
Yeah,
we'll
go in the right direction when you allow me to explain the crimes committed against me. Yeah, you don't want to do that, though, do you?
Well, I'm telling you, but you keep getting rejected from appeal to appeal.
Because they don't want to admit the truth to the people, you moron.
But where are you going? I mean, I guess you're going to have to go
to reveal the truth to the entire planet, sir.
Okay, but we have to take your word for it?
No, I'm going to go in court and prove it.
All right.
Undeniably proven that, but they won't let me in. Don't you get it?
I do understand that part, but again, I don't know where you go from there. Davey's telling me I got to break.
Well, I got to keep appealing until I get one honest judge.
Okay.
One honest judge is all I need.
Right. And again, we have to from that statement, we have to assume the judges are not honest, and I'm not going there.
Well, I'll tell you what, Judge Merrill is not. Judge Daniel R. King is not. I tell you that much.
Said everyone who didn't get the outcome in court that they wanted.
No, that's not true, Bill.
Okay.
That's not true. If I lose, I lose, but I want to do it fairly and squarely. You cheaters!
All right, at this point, we'll continue.
I'm going to court against Carpenter. Did you hear me?
I know you are.
Tell Daddy to drop it or all that. No, I didn't. I'm going to court. I'm going through the system, but you cheaters cheat me.
Okay. Well,
yeah.
All right. I'm gonna say we're going nowhere here, Christian. So I have to break.
Not true. We are
no,
going.
I'm not. No, you don't get to decide. I'm telling you, we're not going anywhere here. I'm not going to have you just screaming and yelling and making accusations. I can't do it. It's not getting you anywhere. It's not getting me anywhere. So I'm saying goodbye, or I'll put you on hold and let Davey deal with you.
Coward. Don't be a coward.
Okay. I apparently am a huge coward. I'm putting you on hold. Davey, he's yours. I got a break. Stand by. We will do Habaika's free money question. Deep breath. You want to comment?
I can't believe it's 7:45 already.
Let's take caller 5.
Look, Christian,
when you're putting on a display like that,
right? It's not a good look for you, man.
You make people
it's
very
not a good look for you.
Nervous. I'm sorry. I understand your frustration, and maybe I don't understand your frustration. But at the end of the day, that case was 15 years ago. And I can't just let you come on and slander other people or tell the truth about other people. I just can't. I can't do it because I don't know what's true and what isn't, and I don't have the legal mind, the legal education, the legal ability to be able to say what you're saying is correct or not correct. But I can tell you this: you're facing a DA in Herkimer County. And I probably would go out on a limb to say this conversation we just had isn't going to be really, really good for you when you enter that courtroom.
Right. It doesn't.
Because it will be used against you.
I have many favors. Can I also say, if what he is outlining is true, I would be equally outraged by that.
We all would be.
I don't know that. But I'm just saying, coming on the air like that and screaming, Chris, you sound unhinged, dude. You do. I don't think it's a good look for you, and I think there's a better way to handle this. I'm sorry, but
we'll do Habaika's free money question of the day, and next, Katie Ayala will come in and yell at me. That's happening in just a few minutes, so stay tuned for that. Davey, we'll get our caller right after this break. Next to WIBX.
Want to make 2026 your year of adventure? Book that trip and learn a new language with Babbel. Go ahead, make a resolution you can stick to. Now is the time. Babbel's New Year sale is here. Unlock all of the languages on Babbel with the lifetime subscription for 65% off. Just go to Babbel.com and start today. Babbel teaches you relevant words and phrases, so you can start speaking with confidence in as little as 3 weeks. And because Babbel's bite-sized lessons fit easily into your daily routine and are easy to remember, you'll be talking like a local in time for takeoff. Dive into the world of language learning content with Babbel's videos, podcasts, and stories from around the world, full of culture bites and language learning tips. Turn your daydream into a destination this year with Babbel. But don't wait. This offer ends January 15th. Get Babbel's lifetime access for less at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
ZipRecruiter. The Potting Shed Antiques in Whitesboro is buying silver, gold, gold-filled, vintage costume, estate jewelry, and U.S. and Canadian coins. They've been your hometown buyer for over 50 years. While other gold and silver buyers claim to offer the highest prices, the Potting Shed Antiques actually delivers. Let Don Hartman take a look at your individual pieces or your entire collection. The Potting Shed Antiques, open Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. Please call ahead for an appointment. Visit thepottingshedantiques.com.
Tallman's Tire and Auto Service, family owned and operated since 1980. Tallman's is proud to provide trusted professional auto care to our community. From brake repairs and New York State inspections to check engine light diagnostic to four-wheel alignments, Tallman's Tire and Auto Service accept all aftermarket warranties, and they specialize in fleet vehicles, accepting all fleet maintenance programs. When your vehicle needs attention, you can count on them to get you back on the road quickly and safely. Save time and money. Schedule your appointment today at tallmanstire.com.
This is Carla Hall for Eggland's Best. Whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner, make sure you're choosing wholesome ingredients like Eggland's Best eggs to plus up your nutrition. With more than 6 times the vitamin D and double the omega-3s and vitamin B12 compared to ordinary eggs, Eggland's Best supports a healthy lifestyle. Available in so many delicious varieties: classic, cage-free, organic, free-range, and pasture-raised. Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs. Visit egglandsbest.com to learn more.
Brought to you by Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, located in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer, and online at tallmanstire.com.
Possibility starts with the right financial solutions from AmeriQ Credit Union. Get started today at ameriq.org/possibility.
Celebrating 100 years. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
I've just been informed that Katie Aiello has done all of her yelling at me off air and will remain civil on air. That's what I'm told. Thank you for that.
I got you.
All right. Let's do Habaika's free money question of the day. It's Joseph and Andrew Habaika at 315-724-1600 for all of your legal needs. And whatever it is that you might have going on, they are there to assist. Dale is in Utica, ready to take a shot. What's going on? You okay?
We're all right.
Dale, good morning. How you doing?
Good morning. I'm good.
Good. All right. You know how this contest works. And how much did you say, Davey, we have on the line today? It's $275. Is that it, or was it $285? $275. Okay. All right. Dale, was it $275 or $285?
I think it was $300, Bill.
I think it was. I knew you'd say that. All right, for $275. You know the deal. You'll have 7 seconds to answer the question. And here is yours. Get an answer in, even if you have to guess. Name the first man-made object to land on the moon. Ready, go.
Oh, a flag?
It was the Russians, the Soviets. 1959, they landed their ship on the moon.
What was it called?
Lunar 2.
Luna 2.
Luna.
Yeah, Luna. Anyway, well, what are you going to do? We'll give you the all-in-one food and fun card. It's a $25 gift card, good at the Comets games, at the Adirondack Bank Center, Taylor and the Cook, Aquavino, Babes, etc. And then also, this car wash that used to be Zeb's is now open. Tidal Wave Auto Spa in New Hartford. We'll give you a $30 car wash to try that out. All right?
Thank you.
All right, Dale, stand by. Davey will hook you up. And by the way, Wayne this morning said if you go to Piggy Pat's, they actually have the Zeb's cookies, the Zeb's chocolate chip cookies. Yeah. And he said you will be pleasantly surprised as they're spot on at Piggy Pat's in Washington Mills. In studio right now is Katie Aiello. Katie, good morning.
Good morning.
So I think I got you there. Good morning. All right. So there's a lawsuit. You kind of teased us a little bit during the Christmas show. So what's going on here?
Yeah, I don't know if I...
Well, you said we'll talk about it
sure.
afterwards.
And I think I heard something on my way in. I just want to clear up. So, yes, the idea is that they said that I was suing every elected official in the city of Utica. And it sounds dramatic, but really this is the same Article 78 I filed against the mayor for the lawsuits, for the salaries. You know, he gave himself a raise. He gave every elected official a raise. It's a formula that's built in, but he went ahead and did it on a year you're not supposed to. So throughout the process, it was actually the city that suggested to add every elected official to the suit. Because if they are going to get a raise, they should be able to have a chance to weigh in on the outcome of this if they want. And that's so I just followed the judge's orders.
So are you saying you've sued everyone who got a raise?
So you're framing it that way again, but
well,
yeah,
I'm just asking.
It's everybody. They're respondents. It's not like it's defendants. So
I know that, but they're involved. They're officially involved in the case.
They can agree. They cannot.
Yeah.
They can.
But who
do
are we
whichever.
talking about? Are we talking about every DPW employee? Or are we talking
just elected officials?
Elected
so this
officials.
salary, it's we're not supposed to just give ourselves raises without the public's input. In the city of Utica, we changed our formula. It's a formula now.
Yeah.
So if the cost of living goes up, our raise can go up if it hits 3% or more that year.
Okay.
Last year, my stance is that it didn't, and the mayor went ahead with it anyway. And we also, the whole council voted down budgeting for these raises. The mayor vetoed it. We all voted together to override that veto, and he still implement raises for elected officials.
He got to override your override?
No, but that's not how it goes, and that's my problem with this, and that's why I'm asking a judge to weigh in and say which was legal and what's not.
So because it was part of the budget, you can't do it, you can't override it? Explain what that case is, because the council does have some power. You can override certain things.
We removed all the funding for the raises. So the mayor went ahead. We should have corrected it on E&A to change all the raises to reflect what is budgeted for.
And within his powers, he was able to reinstate that.
No, he does not have the powers to reinstate that. What the council does, if
but
we override a veto.
He did reinstate it, and that's what this lawsuit is all about.
Yes.
Okay.
So I don't understand. If the council tried to override it, and I know you said you're not suing them, but they're part of the lawsuit. So, and was there public comment? Did the city residents get to come and weigh in?
For which part? For the not the lawsuit.
The budget, for the budget and raises.
Yeah. Well,
so they did get their say. I guess I understand your point on you overrode it and then he went and put the funding in anyway, which you say isn't right. But okay, so it's two separate things. On the part where the residents get to weigh in, isn't that part of we elect leaders and maybe there's a consequence down the road if we don't like what they did in office, one, and two, there's also public comment at the council meetings.
Yes. Are you talking about why would I sue them? Or what's the connection?
You said the residents didn't get to weigh in, didn't get to have a say on the raises. And I guess...
So were the raises in the budget?
Did I say residents? I meant the respondents. So any elected official. That's why they're being added to the suit.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. And that was the corporation council put that in, and the judge said yes. So I had to serve everybody by December 24th. And I agreed because, this is all a conversation. We don't have to get into the details, but if we're going after the national CPI or the Northeast. I saw that the mayor went after the Northeast because that happened to be higher this year. But that's not what our charter says. So it could impact everybody's salaries. A lot of us on the council waive the raise anyway. It doesn't matter. It's just a matter of how do you feel about what the law reads
this is
on.
a question. This really is a legal question of whether or not the mayor had the right to do what he did.
Yes.
Okay. And then I wanted to ask you about...
And that'll be argued March 18th.
On March 18th. All right. Is there anything else on that? There's really no more to talk about except...
No, it's the same thing I filed back in July, but now we're going to add every elected official and let them weigh in.
I do want to ask you, is Rod Palmieri going to run for mayor?
I have no idea.
I mean, you have to know.
I don't know.
You kind of know a little bit.
I know
there's got to be a hint. Have you never had a conversation with him about it?
No.
Okay.
No, I haven't.
Do you think they hang out at the coffee shop or something?
Yeah.
You seem convinced that Palmieri's kind
he's
of
a character.
gotten her ear.
We still got like a year to go. I think a lot
There's
of
a long time to go,
yeah.
Well, I only say that because we keep getting messages in, even someone who wants to send us bumper stickers.
Lance.
For the Lance.
Lance is a big fan of yours, by the way.
I'll send you the tchotchkes.
We got another 2 minutes here. So you do these videos on Facebook. I think you do a really good job of them. You pull B-roll. You make graphics for them. It's a good way to communicate with residents in your district.
I do think that when it's not just B-roll, but you do back whether it's correct or not correct. I'm not saying that, and everybody has opinion and can certainly go down a certain road and use evidence to bring people along. But I do give you a great deal of credit because you oftentimes back up what you say with some sort of evidence. You're talking about when you say B-roll, that's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
There's an audio clip. There's
hopefully context of why I think this way.
There's an appearance on a radio show or a TV program or a TV newscast or something they said on social media, whatever, etc. So I do think that's a really good way of saying, if you don't believe me, just here are the facts.
So
I like that.
We'll take the one good and then I'll throw a criticism, I guess.
Okay.
I think so. This most recent one involves another council person, Samantha Colosimo Testa. You guys butt heads quite a bit. You seem to outline some. I don't know how to say it exactly, but then you stop short. Like you'll outline whether it's kind
of like the $500. The $500. You never use the word bribe, but you led us there, but didn't say bribe, and I think that's what you're talking about.
Yeah, and then he said bribe, so that was pretty.
He did say bribe.
He's the one who called. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
By that.
So you kind of outline something. I think you said where essentially there's a conflict of interest is the word I was looking for. Whether it's Sam's husband used to be on the fire department, and then now she also invested in the horse with. And I'm looking at the clock here. We're running out of time. Maybe we can carry some of this over.
I do want to just touch on that. People voted for her knowing that her husband was on the fire department.
Yeah, I'm not disputing that. I'm just saying when we have votes, a lot of this started with she put up a post bashing, I think it was People First again, and calling them corrupt without any evidence. We already went through. She said that they had a $100,000 chandelier. That's not true. And she doesn't back up any of her claims. So I just thought it was a little hypocritical and ironic. So I said, well, here's my thoughts, and we can roll into the next segment if you want. But
all right, why don't you stay? And will you stay?
Sure. Yeah.
All right.
So just to tease this a little, you had kind of mentioned the Pyomai, which again I think it's entertaining and funny, your videos. But you mentioned the horse, and a department head owns the horse, and Sam's in on it too. We'll talk about it on the other side.
We'll get all of it coming up. I have a bunch of comments too to get to. Actually, a lot of comments that we'll get to on the other side. Stand by. News is next.
WIBX Utica Road, W295 From the WB Payne Insurance Studios, your news talk leader since 1925. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now the latest from Fox News.
Kind words for Venezuela, a threat for Iran. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. We got both from President Trump, who keeps monitoring a protest that keeps growing in Iran, upset over the economy, calling for the ousting of the supreme leader, who says the demonstrators that Iran state media calls terrorists are ruining the streets to please President Trump, who tells Fox's Hannity he'll hit Iran very hard if there's a protest crackdown like in the past.
People without any weapons whatsoever are standing there and you have machine guns gunning them down, or they take them to prisons and then hang them and kill them.
As for Venezuela, days after the U.S. operation captured leader Nicolas Maduro.
They've been great. They really have been. I mean, everything we've wanted, they've given us.
So on Truth Social early this morning, the president posted he's canceled a planned second wave of attacks in Venezuela. And today, President Trump will meet with oil company executives he says will invest at least $100 billion to rebuild Venezuela's oil industry. Now to two cities where anti-ICE protests rage. That's in Portland, Oregon, where the mayor is calling for an end to immigration enforcement. After two people were shot and wounded, they're now hospitalized.
Border Patrol agents stopped a car, and that's when agents identified themselves as officers to the people in the car, both of whom are believed to have been affiliated with the criminal Venezuelan gang Trinde Aragua. Now, allegedly, after being contacted by cops, they tried to run over the agents. DHS tells Fox the agents only fired because they feared for their safety.
That's Fox's Kevin Cork, and it's similar to the self-defense argument in Minneapolis, where Homeland Security says the woman shot dead Wednesday had been blocking an ICE operation and attempted to drive into the officer, which protesters dispute.
We did see more than a dozen people arrested at a protest outside a federal building where demonstrators were throwing water bottles at Border Patrol. State officials are crying foul, claiming they have been pushed out of the investigation into this shooting.
That's Fox's Garrett Tenney in Minneapolis. America's listening to Fox News.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting for someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now, there's a place where you can meet them fast. ZipRecruiter.
Need to hire right away. Start your search for strong candidates. The right fit awaits. Build your team. Build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. And you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
President Trump also has told Fox's Hannity he is still considering land strikes to continue a crackdown on illegal drugs after the Venezuela operation. The Senate voted to advance a war powers resolution aiming to force the president to get congressional approval for future action.
It's a clear rejection of the idea that one person can unilaterally send American sons and daughters into harm's way.
Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, 5 Republicans joined Democrats voting yes, setting up a final vote next week on the War Powers resolution, but the House may not approve it, and President Trump says he would not sign it. He's also threatened to veto the health care bill the House approved, with 17 Republicans joining Democrats, voting in favor of 3 years of Obamacare tax credits, which had expired at the end of 2025, driving up the cost of coverage for millions of Americans. GOP Congressman Jason Smith was a no vote and tells Fox he prefers Obamacare reform.
To lower the cost of health care, lower premiums for every single American.
Also in the House, attempts to override the first 2 vetoes of the second Trump term failed, despite both bills passing easily with Republican and Democrat support.
One measure would have allowed Colorado communities to finance a water pipeline to serve tens of thousands. The other would have designated a site in Everglades National Park as part of an Indian reservation. He said he was concerned about the cost of the pipeline. And he said the Native American tribe that would get the Everglades land has been trying to obstruct reasonable immigration policies. In the end, the House failed to reach the 2/3 support needed to override those vetoes. In Washington, Jill Nato, Fox News.
Later this hour, we'll get the jobs report, expected to show slightly more hiring last month for November and a slightly lower unemployment rate. Stock futures barely budging ahead of that. In college football's playoffs, Miami beat Mississippi 31-27, advancing to the championship game versus Indiana or Oregon. Those two play tonight. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
We have cloudy skies, 36 degrees. Good morning. I'm Jeff Manaski. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM news time is 8:05. This news update is brought to you by Clinton Tractor, the leader in service. Visit clintontractor.net. Utica police say they may have solved a more than 2 decades old murder investigation. However, the person they believe to be responsible has since died and will not formally face charges. It involved a follow-up investigation by Utica Police and the Oneida County District Attorney's Office. Catherine Scott Liggins was 39 years old in 2002 when her body was found wrapped in plastic under a mattress inside a residence at 16 Barnes Avenue. It was determined that she died of manual strangulation. Investigators worked to solve the case, but were not able to file charges in connection with her death. Now, Utica police officials say that there was an individual, that being Jarvis Simpson, who passed away while at a federal detention facility back in 2024. He was the primary suspect in the case. And based upon follow-up interviews and re-interviewing those close to the case, authorities say they believe that Jarvis Simpson is the one responsible for the death of Catherine Scott Liggins. Police say they hope the information can bring some peace to Catherine's family as they have waited more than 24 years for answers. In the city of Rome, authorities there investigating a burglary at Copper City Smoke Shop and Beverage on South James Street. Officers spoke to the victim, who said an unknown man smashed the glass front door to gain entry into the business and then once inside stole a quantity of lottery tickets. Anyone with information on the case is asked to contact Rome PD. The Boilermaker Charity Bib Program announcing the selection of 10 local charities for the 2026 race. Boilermaker President Mark Donovan said runners who raise at least $500 for one of the 10 partner organizations will receive a free bib for the 15K or 5K race. This year's partners include the Neighborhood Center, Parkinson's Foundation, Young Scholars Liberty Partnerships at Utica University, Abraham House, the Mohawk Valley Latino Association, and Project Purple. Since 2013, the program has raised more than $800,000 for local nonprofits. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM news time is 8:08. Here's a look at your Weather Center forecast.
Mild southerly flow will continue and a wind advisory will kick in this morning. It'll last until 10 o'clock tonight. Winds could gust maybe 40-plus miles per hour out of the south, keeping us warm and keeping us wet, with a few showers around, especially this afternoon. Mid-40s tonight, a few showers early, dropping down close to freezing, so maybe early tomorrow morning, some patches of ice around, especially in the North Country, and a rain chance to come back later tomorrow afternoon. It's a little bit colder in the upper 30s, and we should end up with at least some snow here on Sunday. Could get a little slick Sunday. I'm meteorologist Ray Stejik at the Weather Channel on WIBX, 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Cloudy skies, 36 degrees at 8:08. All right, in sports, moving quickly, a big win last night for Miami. They will play in the national championship game in their home stadium. They took care of Ole Miss, a final of 31-27. The other semifinal for the national championship game in college coming up tonight. Top-ranked Indiana battles fifth-seeded Oregon. The NFL playoffs kick off this weekend. It starts tomorrow afternoon. The Panthers host the Rams. The nightcap tomorrow is the Chicago Bears and the Green Bay Packers in Chicago. 3 more games Sunday. That includes the Jags hosting the Bills, the Eagles and the San Francisco 49ers. The nightcap, the Patriots hosting the Chargers. Wild card weekend wraps up Monday night. The Pittsburgh Steelers and the Houston Texans in Pittsburgh. Syracuse basketball plays tomorrow at 2 o'clock start on the ACC network. They will battle Pittsburgh. Utica Comets are home tonight. They look to extend their
sock toss.
Yeah. Yes, they look to extend their point streak as well as they host the Syracuse Crunch at 7 o'clock.
I've been practicing. I positioned the hamper all the way on the other side of the house, and I've gotten pretty darn good. I'm just saying, it's unbelievable.
The Utica Pioneers at the Adirondack Bank Center tomorrow night. It's the back end of a home and home with Nazareth. Don't quote me on that.
No, I don't think it's Nazareth. Maybe it is. I really don't know. Nonetheless, we'll get to that coming up in a second. In the studio right now is Katie Aiello, and I know you wanted to continue your
Nazareth. It
is Nazareth.
Yes, and it's Saturday night, 7 o'clock. Then they'll play Nazareth the following Saturday at 7 o'clock.
Okay. All right, where do you where are we?
All right, so
my head's all over.
Okay, so
of the video.
The context of the video, right? And it involves a fellow council person, Sam Testa. So, is there an impropriety in your mind? Because I had said at the last segment, I think sometimes you outline a case and then you stop short of labeling what you've kind of described. So, is there a conflict of interest, do you believe, with Councilperson Testa and the head of DPW, because they both have partial ownership in this horse? In fact, we talked about it here on the show that they had.
You think that's a conflict of interest?
I'm not saying that, but that was part of the video.
Oh, you think that's a conflict of interest?
I think it's something that, when you have an investment with somebody and you're defending their raises, and there's been 4 in 2 years, I think it brings something up. And I put it in context with other examples of. In 2023, she voted no on that budget because of her health care. Which is good. She has health care, and that's
you can certainly you can apply this to all the way up to Congress. I mean, they vote on many of the things that they, taking away things. We need to limit Congress's ability, and they get to vote on it. But I think that.
But then when she tries to eliminate the assistant fire chief who disciplines her husband, this stuff comes out it's very specific.
But what I would say to that is, and I'm going to challenge you, and I don't want this. We aren't going to turn this in. I'm not going to allow it. I'm not going to turn it into accepting responsibility. I'm not going to turn this into something bad. But I do want to challenge you on it. You own a business. He's going to scream
at the end and say, "I'm right."
I'm always right, and that's okay, right? I mean, in my mind. Maybe there's a screw loose.
I'm sorry.
What's the challenge?
The challenge is you're a business person. So when you make decisions and you cast votes on the Common Council, sometimes those involve business. And there may be some things that may benefit you in business that you have to vote on. Well, you're not going to excuse yourself from that, but let me go a little bit further. Yeah. The other part of this is I understand there are certain cases, like if you were voting on horse racing and being able to whatever, or if you're something, I would understand her saying, "I'm going to excuse myself," and I have a conflict of interest. But we have to rely, especially in local government, because some local governments are so small, and Utica, on the scale of cities, is pretty small. Everybody knows everybody. Everybody's intertwined. Everybody's involved with it. It would be very difficult. You have to rely, I feel, this applies to politicians. It applies to judges. You have to, I think, give them a credit that they will make the right decision for the city and not be cutting deals for themselves when they cast votes. And if you feel they are not, you vote them out. But I don't know that you could eliminate people, eliminate her from being able to vote on so many issues that would affect her life here in the city as well.
So here's my take on that.
Okay.
Overall, I'm disgusted and troubled by the apathy when I hear people say, well, it's Utica. What are you going to do?
I'm not saying that.
No, but I hear it in the comments and stuff too. But it's there's a difference between it's inevitable. We all know each other. There will be things that we benefit from. I vote on stuff because I think it betters the city, and we're all part of that. But there's a difference of that and taking affirmative action, trying to eliminate your husband's boss. There's a difference between, out of all the reasons, and $93 million of reasons to vote no on a budget, but when you say on the floor it's because of the health care that's locked in, but you're not finishing the sentence that it's yours. And also, she was upset that the fire department was out of contract. They're in the same position now.
And by the way, I'm commenting on the horse racing thing. On the issue of to be fair, I would agree with you.
They're out of contract now. She's not saying anything.
I would agree with you. So if my wife is on the fire department and I'm voting on a fire department contract or a boss or voting on insurance or whatever, it might not be a bad idea for me to say I'm going to
abstain from the vote.
From the vote.
I think it's.
However, this is more of an ethical question, which ultimately can be used against her when she runs for re-election.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's why I let people know. It's up for the voters to decide. But it comes down to what amount of what are we okay with? At what point? I'm just. Why do
I
they
have
get
no
this?
problem with the horse thing.
Why do they? I don't understand the benefit of the doubt that is just given to them, and that's what I'm just asking people. Let's not lead that way with elected officials who we have the power to be self-serving, and we shouldn't give them all that rope and ask questions and judge for yourself.
And to be fair, people could judge you by the questions that you're asking as well. And so far, both of you have been able to survive all of this.
Ask questions. I bring receipts with everything, and I think they should do the same. And that's kind of why I shed light on what I think is happening, and it has hurt Utica for decades.
Just quick. So the boss issue, though, that didn't happen until after he was gone, though, right?
5 days later. But I also
retired.
It was right around the time that the union president had just been disciplined. It was a very specific time. We were just trying to cut the budget down as much as we could. And this big idea didn't come up to her until 3 days after the budget was done. I thought you wanted to save $150,000. And I just don't buy any of it.
Does the council approve the contracts for police and fire?
Nope.
No.
Nope. We approved the final budget.
She didn't have an actual say in the contract.
No, she was advocating that the contract should be settled. And it was out of contract, and it should have been settled. And I agree with that. But when that was the only focus. But now what she'll tell you is...
But advocating for having the contract settled is just her using her voice. She has no power to...
But right now, I don't know why you guys give her the benefit of the doubt of just being like, no, it's okay.
I'm
this
not
is
giving
fine.
the benefit of the doubt. I'm trying to work our way through it.
So this is... Hold on. I understand what you're saying there, but this is what I mean. You outline a conflict of interest.
Sure.
But then you don't call it that. And then when we say, well, did she actually vote on the budget?
Oh, these are absolutely
I'm sorry, not the budget. On
the contract.
Did she vote on? If she doesn't have a vote on the contract, how is it a conflict of interest?
We were talking about eliminating the assistant fire chief isn't about the contract. We can choose the staffing for the fire department.
Okay.
However, let's be fair that there are, my point before is every council person has an opinion. In some cases,
or a relationship with somebody who's
they
somehow
have a
tied.
relationship.
And that's why recusal exists.
But most people won't recuse themselves if they dislike someone or feel something should be done, and they have a personal opinion, albeit something that is personal experience. That's just that's not Utica. That's every government. That's how most people vote with their gut. You would hope they do anyway.
What would she recuse from, though, if there's not a vote on the contract?
The contract's a separate thing.
She's saying the assistant chief.
The assistant chief.
The assistant chief. She's the one who brought the legislation.
Right. Fair enough. Fair enough.
And even the mayor didn't agree with that. It's not like it came from the administration.
Can I tell you, people who support her say to us, why do you have Katie Aiello on? Why do you let her spew this stuff? And then people who support you say, why do you let Samantha get away with what she does on the radio? So I feel like I'm in line. I like to be yelled at.
I hear a lot.
I like to be hated by both sides. It seems to be.
Well, I hear all this like she said, and everybody thinks it's equal weight, and that's where I'm sick of. That's why I brought the lawsuit against the mayor for the salaries. Enough of this. I bring all my receipts. I feel like I'm told all the time they want to debate. I don't know on what point, but it's time to bring it into
and the part that I contest
court of law,
is you saying that that her having an opinion or a relationship with someone or what have you is Utica politics. I say it's just government. It's the way it works. The government of the people. People are going to have relationships, and I understand. You say that in some cases they should recuse themselves, and I would agree with that.
I think that apathy is just ripe for people to take advantage of. And if the more we let that happen, the more it's going to happen.
But if you hear from me, if you listen to what I'm saying, it's not apathetic. I'm saying I accept that. I think that's a part of government. We have to trust that people will be responsible when they cast their votes. Otherwise, they'll be held accountable when we vote for them or don't.
They need to earn the trust. They need to prove it. They need to, if they're not, that's a big part, it's a big part of, with the mayor, I'm like, at least
But she's been elected how many times? I think she's earned that
she's
trust.
been at this for 14 years. And I think that's a lot of my concern too. I've been at it for 4.
Okay.
And
Is that
There's
it?
nothing we're going to say.
Really?
Yeah, everybody thinks I was there for term limits and all this
Seems like
stuff.
you've
No,
been around
it feels
forever.
longer for sure. This is
Wait.
2022.
This is only your second term on the council?
Yeah, I'm starting my third right now.
She started under Lulapola back in the
92.
Yeah.
and the first-
Wow.
listen,
I ran
I
in
would have
20
got that trivia
I ran in
question wrong.
2019 and I lost that race, and then
Okay.
I stayed at it, and
Okay.
I won the next one.
All right. So regarding the lawsuits, March 18th is the court date for that.
Yep.
Okay.
And we'll see what happens. And that's also, budget season's coming, and that's kind of what they keep saying that everybody has to make sacrifices, and it's, from what I see though, it's just been taxpayers and nobody else, and that's what I think we need to crack
I
course
think
on.
you'll win a lot of support with that approach, to be honest with you.
All right.
And we shall see. Thank you, though.
We'll
I know
see where
you
it goes.
always have everyone on.
Thank
and
you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, Katie.
I'm on a break. We'll deal with Scott Hall, and Scott's going to take Scott's going to do some picks.
Scott Hall?
Scott in Kirkville. That's
Is
his
that
name.
Razor Ramon?
Sorry.
Smitty's got Razor Ramon on the show?
Yeah, Scott will make some picks for the weekend. It's a big weekend. Are you a Bills fan?
I'm not. I'm sorry, I don't have that.
I'm
Okay.
not.
I don't know.
like
I don't
that.
do.
That's how I feel. I'm not
Politics
a
is my
Bills
sport.
fan either.
I always love ending a segment on a good double
Yeah,
negative.
real strong.
There we go.
Thank you.
right.
However the rest went.
Beautiful.
Cut it before that.
All right, thank you.
I'm going to be honest, though.
I appreciate it. 821 at WIBX.
What if 2026 could be the best year ever for your retirement? It can when you take control of your financial future with physical precious metals. Call Advantage Gold at 800-900-8000 now and get your free gold rollover kit valued at $49 just for calling. More Americans than ever are discovering the power of rolling over a portion of their IRA or 401k into physical gold and silver. With a simple, tax and penalty-free rollover, you can add stability, security, and strength to your retirement. In times of inflation, uncertainty, or market swings, gold has been a steady, tangible, proven store of value. And in 2026, it could be the key to building the retirement you've always imagined. That's why so many people trust Advantage Gold, the #1 rated gold IRA company in America for 10 years running. Call Advantage Gold at 800-900-8000 right now to get your free gold rollover kit. And let 2026 be the year you finally take control. Consult your financial advisor before investing. Call 800-900-8000. That's 800-900-8000.
The new year brings new health goals and wealth goals. Protecting your identity is an important step. Your info is in endless places that could expose you to identity theft, leading to lost funds. LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Resolve to make identity health and wealth part of your New Year's goals with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit lifelock.com. Terms apply.
Don't miss store-wide savings happening now through January 12th. Enjoy 20% off in every department. Plus, enjoy 12 months interest-free financing for qualified buyers. Shop now and save big.
Brought to you by Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, located in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer, and online at tallmanstire.com.
Tallman's Tire and Auto Service, family owned and operated since 1980. Tallman's is proud to provide trusted professional auto care to our community. From brake repairs and New York State inspections to check engine light diagnostic to four-wheel alignments, Tallman's Tire and Auto Service accept all aftermarket warranties, and they specialize in fleet vehicles, accepting all fleet maintenance programs. When your vehicle needs attention, you can count on them to get you back on the road quickly and safely. Save time and money. Schedule your appointment today at tallmanstire.com.
Hurt in a car? Call William Attar. 315-444-4444.
Hello, everyone in Central New York. This is Dave Letterman, your old TV pal. Remember me? I'm supposed to say something witty and funny here about Bill Keeler, but I've got nothing. Ever see a picture of this guy? That's a joke in itself. Anyhow, here's Keeler on WIBX.
So I want to, the YouTube thing, we're trying to improve that product. Listen, we spend our whole lives, I spend my whole life trying to improve me as a product, whether it be,
I take some time off from the improvements. I settle for what I am.
Good for you. I like it. So anyway,
I've accepted it.
Somebody yelling at me, you've got the camera on Manaski. You've had it on through the whole interview with Katie Aiello. I'm sorry. But the monitor's way back there. I can't see it, so I'm putting something up here. Let's see if that helps.
Okay.
It might help. On the line right now, it's a big
And many
weekend.
people were disappointed. They would much rather have Katie on camera than me.
Yes, well, that's
sure.
what I was being yelled at about.
Yeah, well, rightfully so.
On the line right now is Scott in Kirkville, and it is Wild Card Weekend. Hello, Scott. Good morning.
Well, the town of Sullivan's still in the water conservation. I never thought I would use the word celibacy and water in the same sentence, but we're under it. It's so bad they're recommending using eyedroppers for baptisms and stuff. So
wow.
Yeah.
Just one correction in your setup. I don't know what you called it, but I think you meant conservation. Conservatation, I think you called it.
Conservation, yeah.
Conservation.
We're conserving water here. It's
conservatation.
The funny thing is they recommend less than 5-minute showers. It takes me 5 minutes just to get into the tub. So thank God for Turning Stone and Point Place. So I don't know.
I do enjoy making up a good word every once in a while. So, all right. By the way,
I actually need you guys' help. I came up with a bumper sticker idea, and I need your guys' entrepreneurship and marketing. You know, the Winter Olympics are coming up.
Yeah,
and curling's a big sport in the Olympics. So I came up with a bumper sticker. Try curling if you have the stones. So
I like it. I like it.
That's a great slogan.
Yeah,
Bill Morehouse should be listening to that. Every once in a while, you come up with something. I like it. Okay.
And also the CDC is. I don't know if you saw it,
but you always take it one step too far.
To
but
quit
go
while
ahead.
you're ahead. Quit while you're ahead.
I told you, I swing for the fences. I was the Gary Sanchez of the Yankees. So he keeps swinging. But the CDC has come up with warnings. You know what? When you have a valve replacement for the heart, they sometimes use animals.
Yeah.
And they use calves and pigs.
Pigs, yeah.
So they haven't told about the side effects. If you use a calf, sometimes you feel like cow tipping at midnight.
Oh, okay. You have it built inside you.
Should have quit while you were ahead.
If you have a pig valve, sometimes you want to squeal at the full moon. So that's just that's his recommendation. So you got to watch that.
Yeah.
That could be the side effect.
Next time, you should take my recommendation.
One step too far.
Quit while you are ahead.
I know you're. Listen. I know you're a fan of Waterfront Grill and Rocky. There's an event we do down there every year that is during the conference championship, and it is coming back. And every year, Rocky Fiato and Mark Butler, because money is raised and there's a ton of good stuff. And by the way, I've added Jimmy Fallon tickets to some of the auction items for that event. It happens at Waterfront Grill, coming up on the 25th of January from 1 till 5. And I just want to quickly play the commercial that they made in studio. I want you to hear it. This is their artistic attempt at a commercial for the event, which is coming up. Here we go.
Rocky, I never thought I'd ever be saying these words, but you look darn good in spandex.
Thanks. I just came from the gym. I'm getting in shape for the annual Heart Run and Walk on March 7th.
Really? I never thought of you as an athlete.
Come on, I've always been interested in sports.
Well, I guess I knew that, but I always thought it was because...
Speaking of sports, the finals of the NFL Championship are coming on January 25th, and that means...
Tailgate Party!
That's right. We're again sponsoring the greatest football tailgate party from 1 to 5 on Sunday, January 25th at the Waterfront Grill in Herkimer. Join us for a buffet, drinks, great prizes, and a whole lot of fun for only $30 admission.
This year, we will benefit the Little Falls Hospital, the Herkimer County Humane Society, and one of Rock's favorites, the American Heart Association, and the annual Heart Run Walk on March 7th, and Real Men Get Tested. And Rock, might I suggest a wardrobe change and a nice sweatsuit for the Heart Run?
All right, that's good. Well, there you go. And that's the punch on the way out. That event is on the 25th. Bills tickets, 5 Buffalo Bills tickets in the new stadium will be auctioned off.
Wow.
A pair of Giants tickets. Jimmy Fallon, the comedian who's on our radio station and around the country and around the world on Fox News Saturday night live. That's our man Jimmy Fallon. He'll be here on the 7th of February at Rome Capital. Go to
Get your
romecapital.com.
tickets now.
We're
It's a
giving
great
away
show.
a pair of tickets at the tailgate party as well. All right, some quick picks here, and I got to move on here, Scott.
Okay.
But I'm telling you, you blessed us with humor today. We like it.
Well, I just want to make people are asking me because it's been kind of like lay up with all the holidays. Your money game. Remember, we designated Oregon over James Madison's team total, and it came through. And Davey and I got together, and I think Davey was it the food bank or the Meals on Wheels. They got a generous donation because of Bill Keeler's money game. So
the food bank did.
Food bank.
Yeah,
okay.
The food bank. Okay,
Nice.
I wasn't sure which one, but the food bank. So the Bill Keeler money game came through. So that's
all right.
That's like the fifth year in a row we've
Love it.
be able to donate a sizable amount because of the Bill Keeler show.
All right, this is a very interesting wild card year, right? I mean, everything seems to be wide open. What are your thoughts?
It is. First of all, Denver is the weakest one seed I've seen. I'm not afraid going into Denver after seeing them against the Chargers. Chargers played nobody, and they struggled. And they didn't even score an offensive touchdown, and they struggled, and they had to win that to get the 1 seed. So this year, unfortunately, with the Bills, this is the year that I wouldn't be afraid to go on the road if I had to play the 1 seed compared to always playing Kansas City. So whoever wins, unfortunately, I know you guys are Bills fans. I thought coming into the playoffs, the overall team I like combined offense and defense was the Jaguars at the end of the season. You saw what they were doing. In fact, we hit team totals the last 3 weeks with them, and they didn't even play Lawrence basically the whole third quarter last week. So you can still root for the Bills. And by the way, 3 road teams are favorites. Think about it. Usually the road teams are weak. When the home teams means you won your divisions. And you look at the Rams, 10.5-point favorite over the Panthers. Buffalo, one way or the other, 1 point one way, 1 point the other.
Yeah.
Houston is favored against Pittsburgh, and they're going to have to play in cold weather on a Monday night. You go figure on that one. First tonight, Indiana.
Yeah, I think Pittsburgh is underrated, but go ahead. This is your segment, sir.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'll take the 3 points in a game that's probably going to be in 30-degree weather.
With Metcalf coming back,
Yeah. Tonight, I love Indiana. We've been liking Indiana the last 2 years. They've been a great cash cow. Their team total, I got it at 25.5. Went up to 26.5. But take the total tonight. Indoor stadium. They already played already. They scored 30 against Oregon in the rain and the muck. I think they can score at least 30 again. So take them tonight. As far as the wild card, I've already put in Jaguars over 26 points, but I think the Bills could still maybe beat them. I like the Panthers over their 17 or 18 points. I think the Rams defense in the last couple of weeks has been kind of weak. And the game, it looks like Philadelphia wanted to pick San Francisco because they had a shot to get the 2 seed, sat everybody down, and I think they'd rather play San Francisco at 4:30. And San Francisco's defense has been getting up a lot of yards, so you might want to take Philadelphia's team total. That's a low one because
Philadelphia's team total. Okay.
Who would they have gotten otherwise if they didn't?
They would have gotten probably Green Bay.
Is Green Bay the 6?
Well, Green Bay's playing the 2 seed right now, Chicago.
Oh, okay.
Remember,
So
Chicago lost to Detroit, playing everybody, and Philadelphia was playing the same time, so it wasn't like they knew it lost or not. I mean, they didn't play anybody and lost to Washington. And to me, if they won, they would have been the 2 seed, which playing Green Bay. So I think they'd rather play San Francisco than Green Bay. Right? At least I think they choose their opponent.
This might be dangerous for me to say this. It's going to come back to haunt me, but I think Chicago won a lot of close games, and they had a lot of great fourth quarters. I don't think they are, I know Seattle's the 1 seed, but a lot of people think the Bears should have got the 1 seed.
No.
I feel like they're not the cream of the NFC. I really don't.
They're not even the favorite, Jeff.
Yeah.
No, I know.
Green Bay's the favorite. It's
I know.
incredible.
I want to bring in before we let you go, Kathy for you. Kathy, quickly, you're on with Scott and Kirkville.
Well, good morning to everybody. First off, I have to say, Bill, I think you have very much, they say patience is a virtue. I think you do real good.
Well, thank you for that. I appreciate that.
And as far as me being
gluttony is one of the 7 deadly sins, though. Also, I think we're both guilty of that. So,
yes.
As far as Michigan State, Kathy goes, they played Northwestern last night.
Yeah, last night, Kathy. Yeah.
And they won, but at times they couldn't hit water out of a boat, so I was kind of disappointed.
Yeah.
And I have to say thank you to Colgate and Cornell for going and playing Michigan State, even though they both lost.
All right. We'll go Michigan State, Kathy.
Yep. You're right, Bill. Patience is a virgin. You're right about that. Yeah.
That's right. All right, Kathy.
By the way,
you have a great weekend. Thank you. Thanks so much. Lordy. Yeah, Scott, you want to add quickly? And I got to roll.
Just basically in basketball, in fact, producer Dave there has done it. The two teams that you want to keep betting team totals, and you're going to lose a couple times because it's 32 games, but Michigan, Arizona, Alabama, and Purdue has been pretty good. If you bet all 4 of them starting at the beginning of the season, you definitely were up. And producer Dave can attest to that because he's done it. And if you can do it in game, it's even better because the games get adjusted and stuff. But those 4 teams, and that's just the trends. I mean, there's so many games.
A lot of people that bet in game last night, Ole Miss, and this is a victory. And I'm like, there are 3 minutes left.
Which is a world of time.
That is not going to be good, and it wasn't.
Full discrepancy. When it was 3-0, I got Mississippi's team total at 20. So I said,
wow!
We're going to win this game. We're going to score
Good for
more
you.
than 20.
Yep, that was good.
But that's how you do it. That's why betting in game. You see what's going on.
Is the answer.
And it gets adjusted.
All right, win a lot of money this weekend, Scott. Thank you.
All right, guys. Thanks again.
All right, thanks so much. Let me keep it going, Davey, before I break, and I want to bring in the congressman. Congressman John Mannion, the 22nd, is on the line right now. Congressman, good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me on, Keeler.
Are you now? I don't know. Do congressmen partake in like the betting? And like, do you bet on the bills? Do you bet on? I mean, do you get into any of that extracurricular activity?
I got enough thrill in my life, man. I don't need any of it. But I do feel from listening in very prepared for this upcoming weekend as it comes to college football tonight and the NFL. I appreciate that, but no, we're for entertainment purposes only.
Yep, fair enough. Well, we hope the Bills do well. It has nothing to do with betting. I certainly hope they do. I'm sure there are plenty out there that don't, but remember, it is New York's only team, the Buffalo Bills.
Oh, don't start with that.
Sorry, Giants fan. Okay. Well, there's a lot to talk about, Congressman.
There absolutely is. You're right, sir.
I find, do you want to start with, where do you want to start?
Well, let's talk about, what happened in Minnesota and what we are hearing about in Portland. I think that's important. Certainly, American lives, American citizens, we want everyone's safety here. And, what we saw with the use of deadly force in Minnesota should disturb everyone, So, listen, what I'm calling for is a thorough, transparent investigation where there is accountability. From watching that video multiple times from multiple angles, I'm not an investigator. I'm not in law enforcement, but I think there's great consensus that woman should still be alive. And that's why we need that investigation. What we've seen from the actions of ICE are very provocative, and people are very upset. And as a result, people are expressing their First Amendment rights. But still, I was raised to be compliant when engaging with law enforcement. But to hear like the secretary come out afterwards and immediately before any investigation saying that this was an act of domestic terrorism, I think it does not pass the test.
So I would ask you, and listen, I've seen the video multiple times. Washington Post did a really good frame by frame, and they're pointing out different things, and it's clearly the case where, based on the video, actual video, that he was out of the way. and he shot her as she was driving away. Now, I realize a lot of people disagree with that, and that's because the president is telling us what you're seeing isn't true. Just look at the video and trust your own true. Try not to be political, but look at it as if it's your mom in that car. You might see it differently if you look at it that way. Now, on the other hand, to be fair, Congressman, she was blocking the, and I do understand, communities are being broken up. There are people who are losing their neighbors, losing their friends and family members, and these are not rapists and murderers. However, some of them are. Those who are should be arrested and shipped out of the country. If you're here based on our generosity and you're raping people or committing crimes, you need to go. I am all for that personally. However, these are the bulk of the people are just their visa expired. They were told it's going to be okay, and now we're finding out it isn't. Okay. With all of that, with all of that said, I just feel that she's blocking the authorities with her vehicle. We now know that is the case. She had been warning people through the day. She fled when police told her not to flee. She refused to get out of the car. All of those things are breaking. They're all breaking. She's breaking the law. However, my personal belief is she shouldn't have died over that. And I want your take on all of that.
Well, we are in agreement, certainly, and both sides of that. You know, first of all, the president ran on immigration policy. That was a big thing, and affordability. When it comes to immigration, you know, we know that the communities here in upstate New York, we've got a lot of refugees, a lot of new Americans, and they contribute greatly. Most of them are of legal status. Some of them, the status has changed because of temporary protected status, and they're worried about expiring. But we were promised that we'd go after the worst of the worst, and we're not seeing that. So I agree with you in that regard, too. And I also agree with you, again, that when I have talked to people over the past, 24 hours or so, I agree with you that this woman should not have been killed. She should not have been killed. And when I look at the video, I do believe that she is trying to just get out of there. Now, I was raised a certain way, and that was to comply with what law enforcement directs you to do if you're engaging with law enforcement. And I remind people of that, and I do remind people that she was obstructing a highway or whatever road, she was on. So that is all a part of it. She should not have died. I've spoken with multiple members of law enforcement about proper training and procedures in that regard. We know that in New York State, if there's ever an officer that's engaged in the use of deadly force, that is investigated thoroughly. This will be as well. And, again, there certainly is compliance issues there because she did not follow the directives of the law enforcement officer, but she shouldn't have died. And I think everybody should be able to get around that, and agree.
Well, and let's not. I feel it is unprecedented. I don't ever remember a situation where something like this happened, and the government, President of the United States, and those that work for him ever came out so strongly to say completely self-defense. It's unfortunate. It's a terrible thing that happened. But the officer had no choice, and she died. It was her own fault. I mean, if I'm running for Congress and I'm in a state, I don't care if it's a red state. If I'm running for Congress, this is not what I want my president saying, as I'm going to be battling it out to try to keep my seat going forward.
Well, the most important thing is that when it comes to ICE or other federal law enforcement, that there's credibility there and that we can trust them. I have said all along they should not be wearing masks and they should be identifying themselves. We cannot tell who is a member of federal law enforcement if they're not doing that. So, we have the sheriff's department, the troopers, local law enforcement. None of them are masked. And I think by and large, we would all agree that we really appreciate our local law enforcement, and they conduct themselves in a very professional manner. So for the president to come out without all the facts and be so one-sided is clearly irresponsible. And when people want to question the Department of Homeland Security, their leaders, the president, there is a credibility issue when there's clearly not all the facts there, and he makes such a direct statement, and then Secretary Noem calling this individual a member of, calling them a domestic terrorist is just patently untrue. And we should we have had incidences of domestic terrorism in this country, and we investigated, charged, convicted, and we still have those concerns in this country to this day. So for a woman who is a protester, and I don't have all the information either, but what I think is she wanted to show a form of protest. She did. And then when she was engaged with law enforcement, she should have done something differently, but she shouldn't have died.
The other thing that should be noted is ICE. These are not necessarily police officers who've been trained to deal with domestic law enforcement. And I think that is why you see, and it's not just in blue states, it's everywhere throughout the country. You see police officers standing up and getting in the middle of issues that are happening. And it seems at times that ICE agents are, at least some that make it on TV, seem to be a little overzealous, and you see local police officers stepping in to try to bring some levity to the situation because they are trained to deal with people on the street. Imagine if this was our local police department that did this. We would have a completely different conversation. All right.
We would, yeah. Just quickly, as far as that goes, months ago, Keeler, when we would talk about different actions of this administration or, not following court orders, whatever it might be. These are the kind of things we were talking about back then, that we were worried about, that local law enforcement would be put, this is just an example, local law enforcement being put in a very precarious position here because of overzealous actions, your words, of, ICE here. So, this is very dangerous. And again, listen, I will be critical of the president, but I have also tried to turn the temperature down when I think that it has to be turned down. Certainly, the statements that followed the death of that woman were not turning the temperature down. They were turning it up.
And would you agree the statements from the mayor and the statement from the police chief at the time also were inappropriate?
Yes. I mean, listen, we've got to work together. But I don't see the partnership that we have seen in previous administrations between federal law enforcement, local law enforcement, municipal leaders. What we've heard from the president, he's basically called protesters, including myself, a domestic terrorist if you're, stating your opposition to the actions of ICE or whatever it might be. So, do I agree that those comments were inflammatory? I do, absolutely. But I also believe that the partnership that existed, even in the first Trump presidency, has changed tremendously. And we've got these oppositional forces, and we're all supposed to be working together.
Yeah.
And,
All right, quickly, and we'll wrap it up. I do want to ask about Venezuela. Listen, the guy was a bad guy. He was staying there in control militarily after he had lost an election. Many people have fled the country. There are many people celebrating the fact that are in the United States that are Venezuelans, celebrating the fact that this guy is now in custody. What is your take on what's happening and has happened in Venezuela?
Listen, Maduro is a bad guy. I had someone from Venezuela before the election say to me, after you get elected, I just want this on your radar. Nicolas Maduro is a bad guy. He's a brutal dictator, and he needs to go. So I've heard that part of it. As far as the actions that were carried out, if we look back a year ago or listen to what the president ran on, he certainly was not talking about foreign entanglements, right? So if Nicolas Maduro is a bad guy, and we know that he is, then we go, all right, are we going to act on that as the country, number one? Number two, in what manner are we going to do that? And number three, what is the plan after we do that? So all of those things are very concerning. And my role as a member of Congress, I want to make sure only Congress can declare war. Now, we can debate about other presidents carrying out actions like this, which have occurred without
both sides of the aisle.
Or the authority of Congress. Absolutely. So I acknowledge that. But I actually voted already on bipartisan resolutions, 2 of them prior to us going into Venezuela, prior to going in, saying that Congress needs to authorize any actions as it relates to military movements in the Caribbean, in the Eastern Pacific. So generally, I will say this, I don't support the action that occurred there. And now we may have more questions than we had prior. I will say that our members of the military who defend us every day, who are trained, experienced, the best military in the world, I support those individuals who put themselves in harm's way, of course. But now we just saw it in the Senate yesterday, Congress wants a say. They want to make sure that they are a part of the planning and the movement forwards. You saw that in the Congress, the Senate in a bipartisan way, and I support that as well.
We'll do this again. There's just
I just one more because this is new as of yesterday. The congressman has introduced a bipartisan bill, Immersive Technology for the American Workforce Act. I just wanted to give you a minute to talk about that.
Oh, I didn't see that.
I really appreciate it, and I'll be quick on it. So, yes, this piece of legislation, it's bipartisan and bicameral. The legislation is in the Senate and in the House. Congressman Evans from Colorado is my Republican co-lead on this. It's a grant program for immersive technology, which basically means virtual reality technology, to help with our advanced manufacturing training and community colleges. Our SUNY schools have condoned it. Our tech schools have. MACNY, Manufacturers Alliance of Central New York. So it's grant dollars to help enhance our workforce. We know we've got great things continuing here in the region to fill those slots in the health professions and advanced manufacturing, chip manufacturing, and others. So I'm excited about that. And because it's bipartisan and it's in both houses, in a time where it may be hard to get things done, we have a level of optimism that it will get done. It's not only good for our tech corridor here in upstate New York, but around the country.
All right. Congressman John Mannion, we appreciate it. Thank you. And we'll do this again soon.
Thank you so much, Keeler. Right. Have a great day.
You do the same. Thanks.
Using virtual reality there to train the workforce.
Very interesting. A couple of comments. You want to get to some of the comments?
Yes, so these are via the WIBX 950 mobile app. Let's see. Jimmy, if she complied, she would still be alive. Plain and simple. Mannion is a joke, typical Democrat. I'm just reading it as it came.
Can I respond to that?
Of course.
That is probably true, and there'd be people probably complaining that she was ripped out of the car, handcuffs put on her, she was treated roughly and unfairly. That's absolutely true. That's what should have been done. The officer's life was not in danger. I disagree with that. I've watched the video frame by frame. I've watched it full speed. I've watched it slow. I've watched it from experts. I disagree that she was targeting him and that there was a justification for her to be shot and killed. We have to have an appropriate response. And killing her, I am sorry, if this was on the other shoe was on the other foot, people would be looking at this completely differently. But just to humor me, put your mother in the car. Well, my mother would never do that. Please, put her in the car, or your sister, or someone you cared about. And you tell me you see it the same way. You would not. Please. And Steve Colenso, Colenso, the governor of Minnesota, turned the people loose with his comments. I'm not a fan of this guy. He's resigning in shame, in my opinion. But he was
he's
the
not
only
running again. Not resigning.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
you're right. He is resorting to not run again
in shame.
In shame.
Yes,
and is what I meant. But I felt like he was the only level-headed one to speak on the day of this shooting. And he even said, we'll bring in the National Guard if you are not peaceful. I don't think he now he may have made other comments that I don't know about. I have no idea, Steve, but I'm just telling you. Try to see things from both sides. Can anybody do that anymore? And I know it pisses you off that I do. I can criticize both sides. Well, if you're pissed off, I don't care. I'm not going to change my opinion because somebody's not happy with it. That's just, I mean, people should know this by now. My God. And I'm just saying.
For what it's worth, I think.
And one more. The bullet hole went through the front windshield, which means she was aiming the car at him. If that isn't the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Correct.
But it's coming out of the president's mouth, too. It's a stupid comment. The bullet went through on the very left corner of the windshield, right about where you put your...
If I throw this pen through that door, does it mean I'm standing right in front of it?
That's
no,
exactly
it doesn't.
right. He was off to the side. You could clearly see he was off to the side. And I'm sorry. That person shouldn't have died. That's just anything else you want to do?
L says, feels like Katie's been on the council longer because we all have Katie fatigue. Katie,
let me give you this one, Welter Skelter on YouTube. Your voice makes me want to vomit.
Mine?
Apparently mine.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. I might need glasses. Oh, her voice may. Okay. That's a
She has a nice voice. There's nothing wrong with her voice. It's a nice voice.
Okay.
Someone says Chris needs anger management. This is to the Christian segment earlier. There's other comments.
We're going to take the weekend, take a deep breath. We'll be back on Monday.
It's Friday.
It's Friday.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-92...